And we are live, everybody. Hail and welcome into the Offensive Charm podcast. You got me here. I'm Alex. Someone just call me Jazz. I am the charm. Over there, we got Emerada. She is our offensive. Deeply, deeply offensive. I mean, just look at her.
Always offensive.
I have a feeling that's about to change.
And yes, as a matter of fact, we have our guest coming in as well. And will he be charmed? Will he be offensive? I'm not really sure, but the name might be some indication. We got Sleazy coming in to join us on this episode. How you doing, Sleazy?
I can tell you which it'll be, but I'm not going to ruin the surprise.
I'll tell you. Offensive.
Perfect, lovely. Would you like to tell the people a little something about yourself?
Yeah, I'm an autistic internet streamer who screams about things.
Lovely.
Yeah, that's really it.
I suppose that's all we really need, to be honest, on a show like this. I'll say you fit right in. But welcome in, everybody. Good to have you guys here. Thank you all so much for joining. Guys, we're still trying to hit that 500. I think we're a bit closer now. Where are we at, Emerada?
We're at 848 or 484.
Wait. I was going to say, it's like, what the fuck?
Dyslexia going on there. My brain does have a tendency to transpose numbers. So yeah.
Oh, fuck.
484.
So if only.
We're
If
a
only.
little closer.
Oh yeah, we're getting there.
Good.
Slowly but surely, we're clawing our way up, bit by bit, as underdogs always do. But we'll get there. We will get there, chat. With your help, I believe we can do it. So please be sure to tell your friends about the podcast, all that good stuff. Of course, we have questions as well. The question thing's already set up, so if you want to ask us some stuff for us to answer at the end of the show, please do go ahead and do that. And with that, I suppose I can kind of just get right into it. And you know how we do. Who's had a week? Who's had a week of things? You played some games, watched some movies, read some comics, any of that shit? What have you guys been up to?
Sadly, this week was pretty dead.
Was it?
Basically just took care of the puppies and went to work.
How are the pups doing? Pup update. Let's go.
They're pretty good. I have one that can no longer be vaccinated. Because apparently she has a reaction to it. The day after we had all 4 of them vaccinated, she had 3 seizures.
Whoa.
And then as we've gotten further away, she's had fewer. She hasn't had a seizure in at least 24 hours, 48 hours, at least 48 hours.
Okay. I didn't know that could happen. Damn.
Yeah.
But
not safe and effective?
It is actually very effective, but safe can be questionable sometimes.
Yeah. I suppose that'll depend on the individual. And it happens that sometimes there's a specific kind of deficiency that can't quite handle the vaccination. So what's like is there like a backup option then for making sure the pup's going to be all right in terms of
The backup option is basically you don't have her vaccinated anymore. And you make sure that you don't put her in a position. The worst ones to worry about, rabies is actually not even the biggest issue you have to worry about when it comes to a pet. It is so rare anymore in our society that as long as everybody generally keeps on top of it, you have a herd immunity that most people really won't have to experience rabies in their lifetime. Interestingly enough, the creatures that dogs like mine would normally tangle with, squirrels, other rodents, don't get rabies for the most part. Very rare for it.
Okay, that's good.
And so it's just keeping her away from places that might have parvo or distemper. Those are the worst two for a dog, is parvo and distemper. Parvo can be survived. It costs a shit ton of money to get them through it, though.
Gotcha.
But in that case, you just stay out of wet places, places that would hold a lot of virus and so forth, and you just, kind of take extra care to not expose them. Really.
Fair enough. At least it didn't make your dog autistic. You don't know that, NDA.
On that.
You don't know that yet.
literally, when it comes to this dog, I would not bet on that.
Oy vey. Well, hopefully the pupper's gonna be all right.
Oh, she'll be fine. I just won't be able to sell her, that's all.
Ah, so weren't you planning on keeping a couple of them anyway?
I was planning on keeping one,
Ah,
for sure. But
Well.
now I might have to keep more than one. We'll see what happens, though.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah, hopefully it all works out in the end. Rabies is terrifying. IRL zombie virus. I don't think rabies is actually quite that severe, either.
It is. For a
Oh, it's
person,
very much.
oh, it's. Oof. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know people like freak out when they get it and like can actually like attack others, but I don't think it's quite as easy for them to like pass it on to other people as say a zombie virus, right?
It depends on a lot of factors. Rabies is, in fact, one of those diseases that if you get it, it is going to kill you.
Yeah, of course.
There is no ifs, ands, or buts. And because of the way it's passed, it is actually pretty easy to pass along if people don't know what they're dealing with.
But it's not going to keep you going after you're dead. So, not as bad as a zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but up until that
This-
point, you are a zombie.
Essentially. 28 days later type deal, right?
Something like that.
I am legend type beat. There you go. Rabies is super serious. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I don't like, it's not like when you say zombie virus, right? You obviously think of just like full on Day of the Dead, like the end of humanity type shit. I doubt rabies is going to be capable of ending our entire species anytime soon. Hopefully. Yeah. That's where I'm coming from on it. That's what I'm saying. Also, hello, Mayonnaise Jays. Welcome in. Good to see you, buddy. Glad you could stop by. It's one of our previous guests. But anywho, so dogs, right? And you sure there wasn't anything else you got up to over the week?
It worked. I finally made another video. Yeah, that's really... I don't remember anything
That's good.
else.
I do need to circle back and listen to that video. It looked like an interesting topic.
Yeah. It wasn't too bad. I was happy with it in the end, so that's what matters.
Very good. Very good. Good shit. Man, I want to get back on making videos, but first I need to get back in the swing of actually making my like mini covers and whatnot. Hopefully, doing Share the Stage this week will actually, get me back in the mood to sing again. But yeah, we'll see. That aside, though, I'd heard that you did some required reading. Was that not the case?
Oh yes, I did read through Drama Queen.
I have
At least as far
also.
as-
It's like only 7 chapters right now, right?
Yeah. I just read the most recent drop the other night.
I have also gone ahead and got myself all caught up on the Drama Queen, and yeah, that's a wild read. It's pretty
interesting.
crazy. It is quite interesting. For those who don't know, the whole thing with Drama Queen is it circles around 2 characters who live on Earth in a timeline in which aliens came to the planet, apparently saved it from a meteorite or something, and now they're just kind of hanging out and living among the humans. But these 2 characters that we're following do not like the aliens very much at all. One of them has a kind of petty reason for it. The other one has a pretty dire reason for it. But yeah. Given their 2 motivations, it's quite the interesting team that got put together here. But essentially, what ends up happening is the 2 of them get involved with essentially the murder of an alien, and one of them discovers that the aliens are in fact delicious, and we take it from there pretty much.
That escalated rather quickly.
Oh yeah, it really does. It's not a gentle slope in this by any means. It's
No,
basically just 0 to 100.
Right in there. It's not cannibalism, but like the way the aliens kind of behave, like they're very different looking from human beings, right? They got these weird giant poofy heads with like these kind of proboscis looking mouths, right?
Like what you could call tusk. And what's amusing is when they die, or not, yeah, like a tusk, like an elephant trunk. There we go. That's
Trunk. That's
and
right.
when they die, it sticks straight up.
Yeah, and like elongates too. It's weird. But Yeah, aside from that, though, they're like essentially bipedal. They got 2 hands. They're just like human. Aside from that, they like wear normal clothes and shit, and like they kind of just act the way like any other human you might run into does. I mean, most of the ones we've seen so far are assholes. Like that's kind of the one conjoining factor about them, I suppose. But other than that, they kind of just do all the same shit like a normal human being would do.
Yep.
And it's interesting, right? Because like the way this whole thing shapes up, it's like from the perspective of like, we could just go ahead and say, right, like Twitter had a whole shit fit about this when the first chapter came out, right? Because the whole, it's like, oh, our author's it's thinly veiled xenophobia. He's talking about immigrants or whatever the fuck, right? All that stupid shit. But I feel like that's oversimplifying what this is, right? Because I feel like what this really is like any fucking point in human history in which 2 vastly different cultures are made to share space, and like kind of the darker side of what comes of that, right? Like usually when you see stories like this, you're following some character who's like very hopeful, optimistic, trying to bridge gaps and find the what do you call it? The commonalities between these peoples to, foster peace and all that shit. No, the guys we're following are just bad people. Like they've been wronged.
Well, one of them I wouldn't necessarily say is a bad person, but
they've both been wronged. Like they're not just like assholes for the sake of being assholes, but they are kind of assholes in their own regard at the same time, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have to consider. So, I don't know. There is the reason the aliens are on the planet and are treated the way they are, in that they supposedly saved the planet from an oncoming meteor. Right. So everybody is very grateful to them for saving the planet and then providing us with interstellar space travel, making it cheaper to get up into space, to go to the moon and that kind of stuff. And that's why most people are so grateful to them. Yeah. However, it has put them in a place in society where it looks as though they are far more worshipped than they should be.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Then you have the people on the bottom rung who always feel like they've been neglected and so forth. And in the case of one of the 2 characters, her issue is entirely that she feels jilted by the fact that they get to live what she considers the good life, and she does not. Yeah. And then the other guy has, like you said, a very valid reason for feeling the way he feels.
Yeah, although even him, like I would say, he's not the best person. Like these aren't heroes that we're following in this story. These are deeply broken and kind of fucked up people. Like here's the thing, right? Because like the first alien he takes out, right? He's like, okay, this guy punched the shit out of me, so we're getting into it. And it turns out I killed him in the fist fight, and it's like, oh well, well, I guess
easy to kill.
There's an argument for self-defense on that one, right? But then when he just rolls up on 5 more of them and just takes them all out, right? And these are ones like we don't really know. Yeah, like we don't really know if these guys have done anything like particularly shitty towards human beings. They're kind of just walking down the street and he just rolls up on them, takes them out, and then the other one eats them, right? And then so it's like there's obviously they're not really the only discrimination they're making here is between, or distinction they're making here is between aliens and humans, right? But as long as you're alien, like even if you're decent in any like regard, because there may be some among them that are okay, right? I feel like the neighbors, right, the husband and wife aliens. Obviously the husband's kind of an asshole. He's like a bit of a leech. The wife, I mean, she seems okay. She's all right. They did go out
of their way to call me stinky. I mean, to tell her she reeked and complain about everything that she was doing, that she was making too much noise, and demand that she sign a letter to raise the ceilings in the middle of the night. I don't know that I would call them good people.
Well, I mean, they're odd. This, again, is like a bit of a cultural thing, right? Because they're apparently nocturnal, right? So I guess for them, showing up at someone's door in the middle of the night would be perfectly normal. Whereas obviously for humans, it's not. It's very odd to show up at 3 a.m. asking about a petition.
So rudely demand that she sign the petition to raise the ceilings. And, the whole thing really, I didn't really find a lot of redeeming features in anything that they said. Yeah. But if some of the teaser that they had in the last chapter turns out to be true, which I kind of wondered from the beginning, then I think they may actually stand to be in a place to be a sort of anti-hero.
I don't know. Like it just feels like at the moment I just get the feeling that we're kind of just going from the perspective of like, again, we're in complete opposite territory of where you're usually at with stories like this, where you're following somebody who's trying to bridge the gap. Now we're following somebody who's just like, nah, fuck these guys, get them the fuck out of here. Sick of this
shit.
shit.
Gap bridging here.
They sound like my kind of people. You know, my Emperor's golden, my Marines are blue.
Yeah.
No Xeno tech heresy here. Get out of here. No human supremacy.
50-50. One of them just wants to eat them, and the other one wants to kill them all.
Yeah. Just be rid of them. Well, to be specific, his goal, as he's described it himself, is to get them the fuck out of his city. If they want to chill anywhere else on Earth, he doesn't care. But as long as they're the hell away from him, he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It just feels like we're definitely dealing with characters who aren't necessarily even anti-heroes. They're just kind of like, they're still kind of following their own selfish goals in this whole thing, and they are willing to just dust other living beings, right? Because here's the thing, like the neighbors, they are annoying. They're very annoying. But like at the end of the last chapter, what's her face like, hey, can you help me spy on my husband? I think he might be cheating. And then she finds out he's not. He's just buying her flowers or whatever. And then it's like, oh, thanks for checking on me anyway. Here, I'll treat you to a meal. And it seemed like they were getting on like pretty nicely. I forget the girl's name. The female lead's name, Nanomata or some shit. Yeah, she seems to be getting along just fine with the alien like wife. So there might be.
She's feeding her. Yeah, the only thing that girl cares about is eating.
Is food. Yeah, but if the aliens were just complete pieces of shit assholes, then like would she not have just not even bothered feeding her, like keeping her word on that, like. So I feel like maybe there's some aliens around who might be decent folks, right? And I think of that somewhat in like obviously I'm separating reality and fiction here, but I also think about that somewhat in the context of like situations in which you have immigrants or people who aren't necessarily native to an area, and some of them are doing some horrible shit, and some of them are decent people, right? I don't know. Do we just
no, I don't see the one group. Yeah, we can say for sure they hadn't really done anything, but from what I can tell, just about every alien they've run into has had some kind of superiority complex.
And that may have to do with just the whole fact that they're kind of being worshipped on Earth, like you said.
Yeah, because they brought in so much for them.
Yeah, technology, the saving the earth, and all that. And that guy might be right. We only know the male lead said like, oh, maybe it's conspiracy. They actually set up the whole thing so that humanity would think that they were saved by the aliens, and then lavish them with all this shit, right? And that may be the case. It may not be the case, right? That's just his.
And I kind of feel
theory.
like it might be the case just because of the way their personality seems to have settled out. There's no humility in them whatsoever.
Yeah, but I mean, what I mean when I say it's like the aliens act very human is that I feel like there are plenty of humans on Earth that could just be the exact same way. And in fact, there's a very obvious example of this when they're talking about the first when they meet up with the other alien killers and they get their first their first contract. The client wants the alien dead because he's running the same scheme that the client is, and he's sick of doing turf wars about it. Yeah, exactly. So it's like they're kind of just getting up to the same stupid human shit that scumdag humans do for on some scale, right? And the whole thing with and it's like the whole thing with what happened with the male lead and like his whole backstory and that shit, right? It's like that was an alien that that all happened with, but that could have very easily been a human too. And we've heard plenty of stories of humans doing some horrible shit like that and then just running off without properly addressing the situation, right? Could have happened either way. That's what I'm saying here. So while I'm not saying that I completely trust the aliens, and they may very well have, this may have all been a massive psyop to peacefully invade Earth, right? Could have been. But I think that maybe there's still the chance of it's not quite what we think just yet. Because at the moment, again, our only lens as the reader is through the eyes of two humans who are especially against the idea of the aliens being around at all. They hate them. They don't like them.
They're obviously not the only ones.
Yeah.
But it's also a good observation about how some people are going to act in the face of someone supposedly saving the human race. The fact that so many other people just immediately bow down and give the aliens a special place on the assumption that they saved the human race, Yeah. There's something to be looked at there.
Absolutely. And like at the moment, I feel like there's not enough to go on, right? Again, we're only 7 chapters in. There's probably going to be a few more twists and turns, big reveals along the way. So I'm curious to see where it's actually going to go. This is definitely a very interesting concept, though. And like just seeing different interactions between alien haters and alien lovers. We like the very first chapter,
Literally
we got the human alien intersex couple, right?
Interspecies.
Interspecies couple. Right, you have those two walking around together, and it's like obviously she seems okay with it. The alien guy seems all right with it. So I don't know.
He does elbow the main female in the face and just
blow it off. Yeah. So he's kind of a cunt. So
and they both do. So I mean, that's another one of those.
Yeah. Well, I think the girlfriend really apologized on his behalf, didn't she?
Kind of, but not really.
Yeah, I don't know. It's when you're talking about anime. Also, it's like when people are just kind of like generally shitty. Anime seems to have a habit of like amplifying that a bit. So I don't know. I feel like there's still a lot of possibilities here of where the story goes. But there's obviously a very good chance that like what you think where is the actual eventuality. There's a good chance that that's going to be it. But I don't know. We got to see. I'm just curious at this point. I'm very curious, and I'll be keeping an eye on it. It's been a fun read so far, though, for sure. And the last page of that last chapter, oof.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun. Yeah,
that'll be interesting to find out. But then you have that whole uproar about them saying that that people on the internet saying that the aliens are supposed to represent illegal immigrants, and I don't understand how they get that comparison. Because
same way some people are like, dorks are black people. That whole fucking thing with D&D. Yeah. Comes from the same place. Every time.
Everything's political.
Everything.
I hate that so much. God, that infuriates me.
Yeah. I don't know. I suppose it's just because it's kind of topical right now. We have a lot of like global situations where immigration is like a massive issue. Obviously here in the States, we have like a flooding immigration that's, been a problem here and there, fentanyl and all that shit. And, of course, UK is getting absolutely fucked by immigration. Literally, in some cases. We heard about the rape gangs not too long ago. I think we might have touched on that on the podcast a little bit, but there's that whole fucking thing. So yeah, I think maybe people are just looking at a comic like this and they think it might be in poor taste or something. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a story. It's fiction, and whether it might be inspired by some aspects of reality, it's still its own thing technically. So yeah, I think people are just
don't get the reality that they're choosing to say it represents.
Yeah, I mean, people are just reading a little too much into it, I think. But Twitter often does read too much into just about anything. That's just how Twitter
Reddit.
is.
Yeah,
and Reddit.
Internet. It's an internet.
Internet
thing,
in general.
honestly.
Yeah. Yep. Glad my suggestion was a good one for y'all. Yeah, absolutely. Keep them coming.
It was a good one.
I'll be down for any more suggestions you got. I always need new shit to read.
I like the fact I could get it for free. So.
There you go. Yeah, man. Just you find a good manga app and you're all set. There's all kinds of shit on there for you to read. That's how I get through my work days, honestly. 12 hours is a lot to go through.
Long time.
So, yeah, having extra reading material is definitely quite handy. Orcs aren't black people, dark elves are, because they're at the source of the global slave trade.
That is fantastic.
Oh, god damn it, NDA. Well done. Well done.
That was very well done. I like that.
Okay. But that's it for you, though, Amarado?
No, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay. Well, I suppose I can go next. So I did read that. I have been playing Witchfire. Right? I don't know if you guys heard about that one. It was like a Epic Store exclusive for a bit because it's technically still in like a beta state, I believe. Yeah, because I remember when I was actually looking through like the content in the game, there's like some extra areas that aren't like complete yet, and it's like, oh, coming soon or coming later, whatever, right? So it's a somewhat incomplete game, but it is a lot. It's a very interesting concept and it is a lot of fun. So the whole thing, the premise is that you're like a witch hunter, right? Gunslinging witch hunter type guy who actually looks fucking incredible. Like his design's really cool, and like the mask that he wears is super sick. And he wears like one of those fucking what do you call those guys? A plague doctor. He wears like a plague doctor hat, right? He's essentially got like a Van Helsing kind of thing going on. It's really cool. Yeah, and he sets out to hunt down a witch who is sending like armies of these like magic zombie monster things after humanity. And it's his job to, sort that shit out. So that's essentially what we're doing. We come in as the player while he's essentially starting his one-man crusade. And it's very interesting because this game is a first-person shooter, and it's got a little bit of Dark Souls in there, and it's a little bit of roguelite, right? I don't know, it's very... Because you do run. It's like it's run-based, like a roguelite would be. Like, say, something like Dead Cells or fucking... what do you call it? Cult of the Lamb, Binding of Isaac, shit like that. Any of those, right? But the main goal of the runs seems to be to collect, I think it's like witch embers or some shit from the enemies that you kill, which you can then use to level up, very similarly to like building a Dark Souls character. So that's pretty interesting. And the gameplay is kinda, it feels Doom-ish, like the newer games, like 2016 Doom Eternal kind of feels like that. And the weapons are kind of along those lines too. You got your typical hand cannons, rifles, machine guns somehow. I'm not sure how, because it's like this seems like a Black Plague era like shit you're kind of dealing with. But it's a little bit of magic, I guess, and you just kind of sort of steampunkish fantasy kind of deal, I guess. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. The game feels really good. I'm looking forward to the full release and having a good time with it. Probably play more of that off and on. It's solid. I've been playing more Metaphor, which is the Atlas, like the Persona guys, like Persona 3, 4, 5, all those. Yeah, the
Metaphor Refantasio, yeah.
Yes, been playing more of that. That game's still great. Finally got another party member in. Her gimmick is really interesting because her whole thing, like it's... The thing with Metaphor is that it has kind of like the Personas in Persona. It's got like a different kind of thing called... what do you call them again? Like it's like manifestations or something along those lines. But the cool thing about it is that when you unlock one, because I don't know if I talked to you about Metaphor. I think that was like before you came on as a host. The cool thing about it though is that aside from in Persona where you have like the one character on your team who can just go through a whole list of personas, right? Hundreds of whatever, and then everybody else just has like their one signature. In Metaphor, once you unlock one, and everybody has like a signature one that they unlock via like the bonds that you have with different characters. Once you unlock one, anybody can equip it, so you can just mix and match any damn way you please, right? But the character I just unlocked is an interesting gimmick where her specific manifestation thing that she has can use the abilities of any other one by switching like a mask, like equipable accessory item that she wears. So it's very interesting. I am looking forward to kind of building my new team around that and seeing how that goes. But yeah, I just really like that game, man. It's just, I don't know, the voice acting's all super good. The story is pretty interesting. Seeing where that goes, and I don't know, like the unique art style, everything about it. It's just great. It's just a really good time. Very much enjoying that one. Keep you updated with how that goes. Though it is long, because obviously made by Alice, it's probably like 120 hour fucking game. So it'll be a while before I wrap that one up. But yeah, good times there. I do hope I can like finish it before February though, because holy shit, so much stuff is coming out in February. We got Monster Hunter, we got Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. I don't know about Kingdom Come. I might look into that. I'm kind of curious. There's been so much talk about Kingdom Come lately. It's like I'm kind of curious now. Have either of you guys played the first one?
No.
I did not play the first one, but I've been keeping tabs on the drama surrounding that.
Yeah, that is in the docket.
I think it would be okay if the devs would have just kept their mouth shut.
I think if they had done like the first thing they did with this isn't really true, and then shut up after that, they'd have probably been okay.
Probably, but we'll dive into that proper in just a minute here. First, I would like to give our guest a moment to share any interesting things that he might have been up to over the week. Any games, movies, anything that you'd like to share?
Counter to my nature, I've been a terrible Jew and have spent lots of money I shouldn't have spent in order to play video games.
Ah, so what games have been stealing all of your money?
DCS. Oh, it's that big.
Oh, there you go. Kind of. Yeah.
I've been buying flight panels because.
Oh God!
Wait, flight panels?
Why not?
Yeah, he bought like Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
So DCS makes Flight Simulator look like Galaga.
Oh.
And it's all military aircraft. So on the game, I've spent $300 in DLC and buying the F-18. And I bought a $250 throttle and stick setup. And over the last year or so, I have realized that is not enough to play this game. So I am ordering $1,000 worth of flight sticks now.
Jesus Christ, man!
And then,
damn.
Yeah, and then in March, I'm taking another trip back to Asia. So,
Ooh, very cool. Where specifically in Asia, if you don't mind me asking?
Philippines.
Oh, okay, cool. I got a friend from the Philippines. Well, probably a few, actually, but yeah. One who lives there currently, at least.
Yeah, the wife who lives there, so I make frequent trips.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, cool. Cool. Man, I wish I could travel more, but I'm broke as shit, so not really within my budget to travel very often. But it is what it is. I'm a bit of a... Oh, I can imagine. But I'm a bit of a homebody anyway, so, you know, it is what it is.
You went all the way to the majestic and foreign land of South Carolina.
Yeah, because the parents live over there now. It was a nice holiday. It really was.
And it's only like 24 degrees.
Well, I mean, it kind of fluctuated, honestly. It was like when we were over there in December. It was like late December. We went around like the 21st, came back like early, like January 2nd or so. But yeah, like a week and a half we were there, it was like the weather was weird. Kind of like the way it is in California, where it just kind of does whatever, right?
Yeah, the entire southeast goes from being 20 degrees to 70 degrees the next day.
Yeah, it's strange. And it was like one day it was kind of like 70, 75 degrees or so, but it was also raining at the same time. So like I don't fucking know. It was bizarre. Which city in the Philippines? Let's not delve too deep NDA. You know, let the man have his privacy.
All of them.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. Fair enough.
Well, I mean, the only real place to fly into is Manila. I mean, you can do layovers in other cities and get to like Cebu and other places, but Manila's kind of the hub.
Absolutely. You guys seen the trailer for Showa America Story? I believe I know which one you're talking about. It's the one with the lady with the sword, right? And it looks very much like it's got fucking God hand energy. Is that the one you're talking about? I think that's what he's talking about. Showa America. I think. Hang on. I'm pretty sure. But let me double check here. Let me see. Showa America Story trailer. Yeah, it's this one. Have you guys seen this?
No.
Either of you? Oh, check. Yeah, we should look at this real quick. Yeah, let's go with this one. Shorter trailer. Not taking too much time on it.
刀を振り回す愚かなジャパンガールかすっきりさせてやろうか
Was that a shotgun head?
Oh! Well, there goes your dick. Oh, so you have seen this, Amarada?
Yeah, I just didn't store the name in my head.
Gotcha. Yeah, this one looks interesting. And it's definitely giving me just straight up, like, God hand, like, hokey, fucking campy bullshit vibes, and I love it.
Yeah. This is, alternate America where the Japanese took us over.
Yeah. Kind of, I guess sort of like similar to a Wolfenstein kind of thing, right?
Kinda, yeah. Except obviously with a
Yeah,
pretty
Japan
Asian
instead of
woman
Germany.
beating the shit out of people.
Looks like a lot of fun. And zombies for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like a post-apocalyptic something happens and she's traveling the U.S. that has been taken over by, that was taken over by Japan, and then some kind of zombie infection happens. And
Yeah. So hot woman with sword and gun takes out a bunch of zombies. A bit of an Oni Chambara kind of thing there, eh? If anybody knows
I'm
what
sure
the hell that
somebody knows
is.
what that means.
I am.
I'm here for the insanity. I really am.
And I'm all for it.
Just the unapologetic bizarreness of it all, right?
And they say people don't like female protagonists.
Right? Though I do find it funny that we haven't actually seen her face even once since we started the trailer.
Yeah, no, they're focusing on the more important assets.
Yes.
You know what? Fair point.
And to be fair, it's a trailer. They're just giving you what you're probably going to see most of the time.
You know what? Fair
was
point.
interesting.
Yeah, drill dick over there.
Yeah. Yeah. Growing pains.
Yeah, it looks like a wacky fun time. I'm super into it. Do we have any words on when this is gonna come out? Does anybody know, or is this just like,
I do
coming
not have
soon?
a recollection off the top
the
of my
moment?
head. I'm sure. If
Is that a
you're
zombie
watching
she's
the
hugging
trailer-
onto?
She's sitting sideways on the bike while he pedals. Yes.
I didn't know zombies could be quite so accommodating.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything yet. At least not
Okay.
I
that.
have lots of questions about this, but I don't care about the answers.
There probably won't be any answers.
I think-
Just more ridiculousness.
I think the most
If I had to
important
guess.
answer is just when do I get to play it, right?
All right, fair point.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. I don't know as well on UTA. Yeah, we'll probably just have to wait and see whenever they announce an actual release date. But we got plenty in the meantime. Right? I know February is a pretty fucking packed month coming up here, so there's gonna be a lot to do. I'm head bobbing to the music right now. Yeah,
It was good music.
It's a nice little track, yeah. God Hand Energy, yes, it looks silly in a good way. Absolutely, super into it. But yeah, I suppose if that's all you've been up to, then I guess we're already through the weeks, and it hasn't even been an hour yet. That's crazy. We have never done this on the I'm gonna say the Soul Stream on the Offensive Charm podcast. We've never gotten through the weeks in less than an hour. That's crazy. Today's show
Well,
might
I
end up
say
being
I'm
kind of
born.
short. Oh no, it's
Speedrunning
fine.
it.
It's fine. If we haven't been up to a whole lot, it is what it is. And, maybe some people would actually like it if we got to the news a little quicker. And I feel like one very interesting piece of news this week has definitely been the whole situation surrounding TikTok, because TikTok's been going through it a little bit. It's been going through some ups and downs.
Dead for a whole 14 hours.
Yeah, that was
Not long
wild.
enough.
That
Right.
was weird.
They brought
So
it
do
right
we-
back.
Do we want to go over the highlights here? Because it's been quite a roller coaster.
Do you have any of those people who are saying goodbye and fucking themselves over at the same time?
No, I don't. What was
No?
that?
Oh,
What?
you don't know about those?
I don't.
Yeah,
Could you-
there's a whole trend on TikTok right at the end saying they used a quote from or a clip from the Family Guy, but I can't remember which one it was. But it was something like, "I have a secret to tell you since we're not going to live any longer," and then they were all giving away secrets about their content creation, and a lot of people were learning things that they got really upset about, and then it comes right back up, and it's like, ooh. I
Okay,
didn't
wait.
think you were gonna have to deal with that fallout.
Wait. I need an example. I'm kind of curious.
Hold on, let me see if I can find one really quick.
Yeah, give me something here. I can only imagine what TikTok content creators have hidden under their beds. Some horrible shit is where my brain goes, but I'm very curious to know.
Trying to figure out the best way to look for this.
I mean, it's TikTok. It's got to be brain rot.
Most likely. So much drama this week. OMG nerd. Well, while you're doing that, we'll go ahead and give people the context of what's been going on. So, guys, I think it was Thursday where TikTok first actually went down, right? Like it was out, and then by the time we got to Friday, it was back up again. I believe is how things played out, right?
It's been a long week, but I think that's about right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
People don't realize there are other platforms other than TikTok. Oh no, they know, and that's that's in the docket too. There's been a funny little thing about what's going on with a similar a site that is very similar to TikTok, except it is purely Japanese. They call it the Japanese or Chinese TikTok. Sorry. What actually was it? Hang on. I have it over here somewhere. This
You're
one.
talking about Little Red Book or whatever?
Red Note, yeah.
Red Note.
Fucking Red Note.
Right, no.
Red Book was Mao's thing. They changed it to Red. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we'll circle back to that, though. I want to give you all the context we can. So, President-elect Donald Trump rode to TikTok's rescue on Sunday, working on the eve of his new presidency to try to undo a ban effort that he helped initiate during his first term. Which, yeah, is true. Popular social media app started restoring service on Sunday for its 170 million US users, just over 14 hours after halting it in response to a bipartisan national security law requiring TikTok to shed its Chinese ownership or shut down in the US. Because, it was being seen as a Chinese propaganda machine, pretty much. So, the US government stepped in to shut it down. Oh, please do speak on it, Sleazy.
So, they have caught TikTok actively spying on people.
Oh, true. I'd hear about that.
Yeah, as far as going to copying your copy and paste information, stealing passwords, stealing bank account information, activating microphones and cameras, which is bad because, like, some people have posted on TikTok themselves, we're on U.S. naval warships doing this stuff. So, yeah, TikTok was quite literally feeding national security information via the app.
Yeah, man, it feels like there's always some crazy shit coming out of TikTok, whether it's that or like the whole TikTok live grooming thing that was happening. Well, probably still happening, let's be honest. Oh, just, I don't know, man. Maybe we should just nuke that fucking just permanently. I don't know, man. Just some crazy shit coming out of TikTok. The negatives might just outweigh the positives on this one. We might want to...
I'm trying to find a good example. I don't normally look for TikToks, so it's difficult for me.
That is crazy, though. But I do wonder if anybody was just, like, accidentally, like, throwing out their fucking, like, actual address or their real name or any of that shit.
Oh, no, not for that. Like, one of them, so there's this... And some of the stupidest shit. So one of them is this TikTok creator who goes through and every day she shows herself freezing like these special ice cubes. She puts fruit and edible sparkles and shit in the ice cube tray, and then she fills it with water and she freezes it, and then you get to see her later unmolding it and dropping it in a glass, and she confesses to the fact that she doesn't actually use any of the special ice cubes she makes.
Oh.
And the people just went off the rails. There are so many people who are just so fucking... You don't use these ice cubes. You're wasting food. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
And so she ends up making another TikTok later saying, after it comes back, saying... I don't use the ice cubes, but like my friends come over and they use the ice cubes. I'm not just tossing these things out. And is stuff like that.
Pure copium.
Yeah, I mean, it's so ridiculous.
It's, how to put it, it's not necessarily doxing yourself, but it feels really close in severity on
It's
some of these.
You would be like one of those people who make those ridiculously large drinks on TikTok, coming out and saying, I don't actually drink those drinks. No, duh. Do people actually believe they do?
Yes, they do.
Oh my God, these people are stupid. I forgot.
Yeah, pretty easy to find people to fool on the internet. Attracts all kinds. Oh man, that is pretty funny though. That is. Holy shit. I gotta find. There's gotta be like a compilation of these or something, right? By now on YouTube.
Somewhere out there.
Somewhere.
good
I want to
looking
look
for
into
those
it. I gotta
kinds of
find the
things.
best ones. You see the highlights. That's great. That's super solid. But anywho, as far as the particulars on this, let's see. The restoration of service came after Trump, who has been indicating for weeks that he wanted to help the app, said Sunday he would issue an executive order on Monday to reinstate the service in the US, and he wants the country to have an ownership position in the app. Okay, so we kind of trying to go for both here. Welcome back. Read a message the TikTok app showed users Sunday. As a result of President Trump's efforts, TikTok is back in the US. Ta-da. The company separately said Trump had provided the assurance needed for TikTok and its partners to restore service. It said TikTok would work with the incoming president on a long-term solution to the law's requirements. All right. The weekend's frenetic moves capped a years-long saga that has been a complete change in the president-elect's position. While legal challenges could still complicate Trump's plan, his move sets him up to potentially play the hero to the Chinese-owned app that he once said is a national security threat, which it kinda is, as well as to its healthy U.S. investors, its largely young base of users, and the millions of American businesses and social media entrepreneurs who use TikTok to connect with customers and fans. Yeah, I do know that that probably sucked real bad for the people who like actually managed to just straight up make a whole ass living on TikTok. I mean, that's just wild. They can do that, but
it even hurts people who try to make a living on YouTube. Realistically, the number of YouTubers who just get their content from TikTok.
Yeah. True. It would have been quite the shakeup if TikTok had actually just gone away permanently. But who knows?
Yep.
Maybe it still will. We'll see how things shake out. Even before the weekend, Trump planned to have TikTok chief executive Xiao Chu, I think, hopefully I'm saying that close enough, at his inauguration on Monday.
Not Chinese, I don't know.
Along with U.S. You know what? Fair enough. Along with U.S. tech luminaries, including Mark Zuckerberg, whose Meta Platforms owns TikTok rival Instagram. Is Instagram a TikTok rival? I guess
Well,
they're
I
kind
don't
of
use either one, so.
kind of similar, I guess. I don't know. Feel like different enough though.
I always found isn't Instagram mostly just pictures?
Well, I think you can also put shorts on there now, I think. Yeah. I'm pretty sure at one point they decided to like start doing like TikTok-esque shorts. But then so does YouTube, right? So
didn't they call it Reels or something?
yeah,
Okay.
Instagram Reels. Yeah. Those are on there. I've seen them. I have seen them. The law signed by President Biden in April, after passing with strong Republican support in Congress, required divestment of Chinese ownership in TikTok because of concerns that China's government could use the app to surveil or propagandize American users. The law took effect Sunday after TikTok failed to present any such deal for consideration, and after the U.S. Supreme Court rejected its claims that the law is unconstitutional. The Biden White House had offered repeated public assurances that it wouldn't take any action to enforce the law on his last day in office, but TikTok said those weren't sufficient to ensure legal protection, including for partners such as Oracle, which hosts TikTok's American service and its data centers. "I'm asking companies not to let TikTok stay dark," Trump wrote in a post Sunday morning in his own platform, Truth Social. Truth Social? How was that?
It's the media
his-
platform that Trump made.
Really?
Yeah, his own thing.
Yep, after he got kicked off of Twitter, he went and made his own thing.
And how's that doing?
Oh,
Out of curiosity.
I think I signed up for it, but I never look at it.
Oh, well.
So it's not doing terrible. It's not hemorrhaging money, but it's pretty much what you'd expect. A bunch of neocon boomers in love with Trump.
So it's like
kind
Blue
of like
Sky,
yeah, an
but on the
anti-blue
other
sky.
side.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Man,
You did say I was an autist, right?
Yes.
no, I got you. Got him.
But
Imagine
we can
Twitter.
tell it's okay.
Man, Twitter goes down one day, and then it goes down to like the Truth Social versus Blue Sky, the
I'll go
Great
back to
Civil
that,
War.
thank you.
It's the second American Civil War will take place entirely on the internet between fucking shit posting assholes. Oh, I love it. I love this
I mean,
idea.
it kind of already has
man.
already, realistically.
Yeah, that's true. That's good though. I like that. Let's see. He said his executive order would pave the way for a deal that he said would protect national security, which, yeah, I believe that would be most people's first concern on the matter, at least the politicians.
My
And
first concern is my privacy, but okay,
That too.
whatever.
Your privacy can be roped into national security. You're in the nation, and it's your
Yeah,
security
but
that you're concerned about. So.
Putting
I-
my privacy first is different from national security, especially when they think national security means they get to look in and break my privacy.
I know. I got you. I'm doing a bit. I was doing a bit. Oracle is quite
I'm good
powerful.
at ruining those things.
They're
My fiancé will
creating
tell you
your
all about it.
privacy to protect your privacy. Don't you understand?
Yes. I've not thought about it, so I believe it makes perfect sense. Virtual fighters? Yeah, absolutely. There we go. We got a new virtual fighter coming out. It's perfect timing. Let's go. Trump's promised move raises a number of questions that leave the legal landscape uncertain. TikTok law allowed for the possibility of a 90-day extension before being enforced, but it isn't clear that the president-elect can invoke it under the current circumstances after the ban had already taken effect. More broadly, a president can't nullify a federal law through an executive order, though he has considerable discretion about whether to enforce it. Ban supporters warned companies that they still face serious legal risk for assisting TikTok, no matter Trump's pledge. So, the way this seems to be shaking out is that, like, TikTok is back. It's currently up, but it's still kind of up in the air, and it could still go either way depending on how the powers that be decide to sort this out, and whether or not China is obviously willing to play ball, because it seems America's main goal here is to get like majority ownership of TikTok in order to facilitate leaving it up.
Yeah.
At least in the US, yes. But if China's not willing to play ball on that, then it could lead right into another TikTok death.
Yeah, so my understanding was there was negotiations in the works
Mm.
when the time limit expired. And it was a 90-day stay of execution, shall we say, to allow that deal to go through for it to get purchased.
Sounds about right.
Okay.
So I guess are we in the midst of that 90 days now? Like, does this count as part of those 90
Yes.
days where TikTok is still okay? So we'll see in a few months whether or not things end up getting smoothed out, or if it all comes crashing down. Statement suggests Trump could be setting a low bar for what needs to change to keep the app online in the U.S. ByteDance, TikTok's Chinese parent, has said it is already roughly 60% owned by global institutional investors, many of which are big U.S. financial firms, including BlackRock, General Atlantic, and Susquehanna? Something like that. International group co-founded by Republican megadonor Jeff Yass. American investors together could already own nearly half of ByteDance, and by extension TikTok and its U.S. operations. As of 2023, Susquehanna also owns about 50%, Wall Street Journal reported. Wait, so then American interests already kind of own most of TikTok? Is that what they're saying here?
In a vague roundabout way, I think that the government's looking for more direct ownership.
Okay, that makes sense. TikTok and parent ByteDance portrayed themselves as independent of China, but their ability to do any divestiture deal to satisfy the U.S. law has been constrained by Beijing. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Mao Ning said Monday that any operational moves and acquisitions should be decided by the companies on their own, suggesting openness to a deal if ByteDance is on board. August 2020, Trump issued an executive order that effectively banned TikTok for U.S. Use unless it was sold to an American company, asserting that China's authoritarian government would have access to user data, which, as Lazy said, has proven at least somewhat true. With leaks and whatnot. So, Data collection threatens to allow the Chinese Communist Party access to America's personal and proprietary information, the order stated, warning that China could potentially use those details for blackmail and corporate espionage. That effort was blocked in federal court. After Trump left office, one of TikTok's biggest investors, Susquehanna International Group, worked behind the scenes to change the political support for banning the service. That included back-channeling to Trump's closest advisors, making the case that it was foolish to hand wins to both President Biden, who would appear tough on China, Meta Platforms, which Trump believed had hurt his re-election bid in 2020. As after the Biden White House indicated support for TikTok ban last year, Trump came out in favor of TikTok. If you get rid of TikTok, Facebook, and Zuckerschmuck?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That line.
Right here. I'm looking. Right where my mouse is. Oh, he's
Zuckerschmuck. Yeah, I never-
Zuckerberg.
Oh,
making
okay,
fun of
okay. He was
Mark
just
Zuckerberg,
calling
yeah.
him a name. Okay.
Yeah, if you get rid of TikTok, Facebook, and I thought there was a fucking...
I thought it was another service. I'm like, okay, that's one I hadn't heard of before.
I
But
thought
okay.
so too. That would be, oh my god, the fucking shade. If like somebody came out with like a Facebook competitor in the current year and called it Zucker Schmuck.
I mean,
It takes balls.
You know what? I'd be down. I'd be on the mass exodus, the mass Facebook exodus to Zucker Schmuck.
Hold on, let me go send a Zuck.
I would. That's going to the podcast titles for sure. Let me send a Zuck.
Somebody sent you a Sweet Baby Race.
Oh fuck! I'm putting it in there. That's going in. Well done. Oh fuck. Anyway, we'll double their businesses. Trump posted on Truth Social referring to Zuckerberg with a Yiddish obscenity. Facebook suspended Trump back in 2021. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was crazy. Trump
We're
joined
gonna
TikTok.
really just call it a Yiddish obscenity. I mean, yeah, it's
Is
Yiddish,
it?
but I don't.
Is it not? I don't know.
Obscenity?
What does schmuck actually mean? Because I've heard the word schmuck before, but like, what does that actually mean?
Let's ask the Jew.
I knew it was some sort of insult. I just don't know if it like had
I'm
some.
trying to think of how to
Explain this? Okay, go for it.
Yeah, okay, so you gotta understand, anytime a Jewish word becomes a colloquialism, it changes its entire definition completely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like calling someone trailer trash. It's just like, haha, you're a schmuck.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a
okay.
good way to define it. Yeah.
Okay, so not necessarily. Well, yeah, no, not even an obscenity, really.
Just a loser.
Just a general insult. Yeah.
Yeah. Not necessarily something I would qualify as an obscenity.
Yeah,
Yeah, me
it's
neither.
not like, yeah. It's
But
not
then
like
again,
I
this
call
is-
people worse things.
Right.
Yeah, I'm reading this off fucking MSN, so
Yeah.
most yeah. Yeah, we know how their articles typically lean. Anywho, Trump joined TikTok himself over the summer and later credited it with helping him win the election by increasing his share of the youth vote. On Sunday, Trump said he asked companies to not let TikTok stay offline. Americans deserve to see our exciting inauguration on Monday, he wrote. Would they specifically need TikTok for that? Yeah, watch it
I
on
imagine
YouTube,
they could
or-
watch it on TikTok, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
So, I mean,
If you're a fucking Zoomer and like you know nothing but TikTok,
Man,
but in that case, I don't know why a fucking inauguration of all things would even appeal to you in the first place. If you're just a TikTok Zoomer, you'd
It's
rather be
weird.
watching fucking cat videos or something. I don't know.
well, but they could watch, somebody else on TikTok stream it because you can live stream kind of on TikTok, so they can live stream it. Their favorite weirdo, maybe NPC Miles Morales streamed it or something. I don't know.
How many galaxies did Trump get during his inauguration speech?
Oh my god,
How many roses?
I don't even know what that means.
you don't want to know.
Oh god.
It is the worst brain rot ever. Like, okay, hold on. You watch Family Guy, right?
Not in a long time.
Okay, but do you remember the oh shit, I forgot his name. The based actor that's old now, his house just burned down.
James Woods.
Yes, James Wood.
James Woods?
The
Yeah.
James Wood episode when Peter's leading him into a box.
Yeah,
of
the ooh piece of candy.
Ooh piece of candy. Ooh piece of candy. Ooh piece of candy.
Yeah.
It
Imagine.
is exactly like that with emojis. Live.
Yeah.
Ew.
You send the
Oh,
emoji
God.
and they say stupid line for hours on end.
Yeah.
Well, I knew about the NPC
Oh
thing,
my god.
but I didn't. Okay.
Like,
I
ooh,
just-
roses. Ooh, roses. Ooh,
As-
roses.
I'm just imagining like Trump's doing his fucking inauguration speech, but he's got like a little earpiece in that you can't see it. Just every so often in the middle of the speech, he's like, "Oh, ice cream, yum."
Oh, God.
And we're gonna get all those immigrants out of here. We're gonna build an incredibly strong border with ice cream, yum. And
It'd be funny, like, the second time after that, I'd just be like, I'm turning this shit off.
I think Galaxy's worth $10 or so. Yeah. Yeah, it is.
The sad thing is he could probably make a lot of money that way.
Idiocracy, Max, bring it. Yeah, we're getting there. It's only a matter of time before President Camacho makes it into office, chat. And you know what? I'm gonna vote for him when he runs.
You're worse than the other dumbasses.
Let's not forget, right, the moment leading up to the election where Trump brought in Hulk Hogan to tear his fucking shirt open to reveal the vote for Trump. The Trumpomania running wild.
It worked.
It's so good.
Say it worked.
It did. I loved it.
Though. I don't know if
It worked on
really
something.
worked.
I would bet you there is at least one person out there in this world that voted for Trump specifically because Hulk Hogan.
Oh, there's 7 billion people. Of course, some moron did it. I'm just saying, like, I don't think it mattered.
Wait. Hang on. Not the entire population of Earth.
Sleazy. Oh my god.
Not the entire population of
could
Earth
you?
takes place in the U.S. election, Sleazy.
Are you sure about that?
I'm not sure.
Pretty sure.
I'm a little sleazy on that one. I'm not sure.
Okay, wait.
I mean,
I'm
the
just
living
saying
population, the dead population.
20 million votes didn't happen. That's all I'm saying. That's a lot of votes.
I gotcha. That's fair. Terry Crews 2034. Okay, here's the thing. If Terry Crews actually went out to try and be the president, I feel like he actually would have like massive, just on the pure fact that he is Terry Crews, I feel like he'd get massive support because Terry Crews is actually
Scares me.
he's super cool. Like, but here's the thing, he's actually like a really good guy and he's pretty smart. Like he's a wise, kind dude. Like he's actually really cool. And I think a lot of people like, no, I'm
I'm
saying.
sure he is. The thing is what scares me is that people wouldn't be voting for him because he's a wise, kind dude. They'd be voting for him because he's Terry Crews.
Yeah,
And they don't know
fair.
anything else about him.
Fair point. Would be kind of funny though. I mean, hey, if we're gonna move into the fuck it era of America, you know what? Might as well just take it all the way, right?
Yeah, I guess there's that.
Just go all the way in.
He does get asked what his policies are, and he just starts making his titties walk.
Yeah.
Sir, no, I just wanted to know your no, could you please stop? I'm trying to ask you a question here.
Oh. I gotta see Kamala Harris do that shit.
Oh god. Nobody wants to see Kamala Harris do that shit.
Oh my. Can't with this. Okay, hang on. Where to leave off? God damn it. Okay. So TikTok users started seeing a message late Saturday saying, sorry, TikTok isn't available right now, and the app wasn't available to download from Apple or Google's app stores. Law banning TikTok has been enacted in the US. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now, said the TikTok message, which also gave a link for users to download their data. We are fortunate President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned. Musk posted on X Sunday that he has long opposed the ban, citing freedom of speech concerns. That said, the current situation where TikTok is allowed to operate in America, but X is not allowed to operate in China is unbalanced. Something needs to change, he wrote.
Life isn't fair.
Twitter banned in China?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Pretty much nothing from anywhere else outside of China is allowed in China.
China has all of its own special social media, its own special browser. There are things that you literally cannot type into a Chinese app.
Like Winnie the Pooh, for example.
Taiwan is a country.
Oh, or that, yes.
Tiananmen Square, or
Yep.
Taiwan.
Yeah, there you go. I immediately went to the fucking stupidest one. You guys actually made a bunch of like actual like, you know, serious examples like Winnie the Pooh.
To be fair, the Winnie the Pooh one is also hilarious.
It's really funny. Did you guys see that shit was popping up in Marvel Rivals too?
No.
Yeah, you can't try Winnie the Pooh in Marvel Rivals.
Well, there was one of, Marvel Snap that actually couldn't operate when TikTok was down because it must use the same stuff or something.
Elon's got his own heaps of drama this week. Yeah, we there's a little bit about that in the docket as well. But yeah, I didn't know. Wait, so Snap was like just straight up linked to TikTok somehow?
I don't know if it was linked to TikTok or if it uses like the same infrastructure or something, but yeah, it was down. People couldn't use it for the same reason.
Because Snap, wait, is Snap is Chinese made as well?
Oh, I'm assuming so at this point.
No, I thought it was American.
I think it might be.
Okay.
I'm not super sure. I never played it. And I'm not really interested in like card games like that, so.
I just know they couldn't open it and it had the same stuff as what TikTok had. There was something else too. I can't remember. Oh yeah, and CapCut was down because it.
Oh, so anything owned by ByteDance. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is Chinese, so. Yeah, okay.
However, there have been some recent articles about their transition to Redbook. I don't know if anybody's seen that yet.
Yeah, so I was about to segue over to that. Where's the tab? So apparently, when TikTok went down, everybody decided to look into this Red Note thing. Xiao Hongshu, also known as Red Note, has hit #1 on the U.S. App Store following news of a possible TikTok ban on January 19th. But I do recall there were some issues with that. Too many kids are being brainwashed by Chinese propaganda on TikTok. Bans TikTok. All consumers move to the actual Chinese propaganda app. Masterful gambit.
Yeah, but you know what Americans are doing on that app?
I heard something along the lines of trying to be gay and immediately getting banned.
Oh no! Well, yes, that too. But the based thing that's happening.
Okay, what?
They're
Tell me about it.
3D models to print their own pew-pews to Chinese citizens.
That is sexy.
Huh.
Yes.
I am down for this.
Huh.
I'm like, okay, well,
okay, that's.
You know what? I'm kind of torn on this one now.
That's fucking nuts. Hang on, can I find some details on this? We type in Red Note. Can we get some stories here?
I threw it in the side check here.
I'm 100% behind this.
Yes.
So it's like everybody just jumping on Red Note now, and is that what's going on here?
For now, until China figures out how to control it better.
Me reuniting with my Chinese spy on Red Note.
That's good.
Holy shit. Fucking hell. Oh, yeah? Yeah, just, oh, okay.
Nice.
Fucking hell. Chinese are now learning and teaching other Chinese users Western social media lingo so they can recognize and communicate with each other properly. This is the best timeline. Huh. Okay. The Western brain rot is seeping into the Chinese social media apps a little bit. That's, I guess we'll see how that goes. Because like, wasn't the whole thing with like Chinese TikTok, like instead of all the stupid like brain rot bullshit you see on like American TikTok, they actually had like a bunch of videos on like how to train to be an astronaut or like, you know, actual educational shit like that.
Yeah, a bunch of educational bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And propaganda. Yeah.
Yeah, but now the Americans are invading the Chinese apps with the TikTok brain rot bullshit. Oh no. Man.
To be fair, it is a culture that doesn't really encourage too much outside the box thinking.
Mm-hmm. Damn, the Chinese are also docking the Brits for they say bottle of water.
Can I have a bottle of water?
Bottle of water. Oh.
I have seen a bunch of copy and paste from random people getting the Chinese are dropping hard R's.
Oh, well,
Yes.
well.
Nice.
I was like, yes, racist China. The American commies are learning.
Oh, that's pretty
Are they?
good.
I mean, they're commies. Do they really learn?
I mean, loosely using that.
People gonna learn Mandarin out of spite? No, they're not.
No,
they're not.
definitely not.
No, they're not.
Nobody learns Mandarin out of spite.
Most Americans aren't even gonna bother to learn a second language. Let's be real here. I'm one of them. I live in fucking Southern California and I won't even learn Spanish. Like, what are you talking about here?
I know a second language to read read religious text. And I don't know a third language, so I know when the waifu is cussing me out.
There you go.
No, not that R word, Elite. The hard R word.
Chinese to see
Pull the line is
this is a weird like cultural exchange going on the internet right now. It's pretty good too. Holy shit. I like this. I like this a lot. This is good. I gotta go through all this proper later, but yeah, this whole thing around TikTok has been quite amusing, quite interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose we're gonna see it get even more interesting and amusing if TikTok actually does end up dying after this 90-day probationary period again, dying again permanently this time, at least in the States. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it. I kind of want to see it happen, to be honest. I kind of want TikTok to just die because I'm so curious to see. What is it just gonna go all to Red Note? Is China just gonna sink itself deeper into the American culture? Is that what's gonna happen?
I mean, thinking about it, it can't. Like, China would have to come in and just drop everything from TikTok into Red Note to make it function in the US, because obviously they're not going to allow what Americans are doing on their
There it is. There it is. Just be gay. Don't talk about you gay. Just be gay. I don't know, I feel like that's kind of what we've been saying here for a long time. Getting back. Yeah, there it is. I saw a typical TikTok crowd fleeing to Reddit, and I was like, this is not going the way they think it is.
They're like, your church Jenga, bye, banned.
Because actually, I've been like just straight up banning like transgender content creators from Red Note, right? Was that what's going down?
Yeah.
Just right out the door, huh?
They do not tolerate any of that brain rot getting to their citizens. For us, it's okay, because we're not Chinese. But for them, no, none of it.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they might mind a little bit. We'll see, though. Van Looming on the Horizon. I can finally reunite with my spy. The spy meme. Jesus.
TikTok spent years brain rotting Americans, and one day we just sent them guns on Red Note and Tiananmen Square memes.
So American.
Quite strange. Alright, I suppose we can move on. We've had our fun. What else is going on? Ah, yes, this is kind of a big one, right? Let's have a look here, because apparently Nintendo has finally dropped the bomb, made the big announcement. The Switch 2 is here. For those of you who have not seen, they have shown off the entire console.
Okay, here we go. It goes like this. Ooh.
So it's bigger.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bigger. It's still black.
That does make it bigger.
She likes
God damn it. They finally put a fucking stand on the thing, so that's nice. Like, just built in. God, the fact that it took this long to get one of these. kind of wild. The Joy-Cons are also blacker and bigger now. Bigger and blacker.
Look at that, they slide right in.
Yep. There you go. So what I've been hearing is that as far as like the tech inside the thing, it's going to be like PS4 level. So that's kind of alright. It's nice.
Everything's speculation.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now,
considering
what they showed there with it sliding across the surface, that could be an interesting function depending on how they choose to implement it or what developers choose to do with it, if anything.
True.
Yeah, so, I mean, Nintendo has a history of everything in a trailer has to be there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious what they're gonna do. And I'm uber excited about the Switch 2, except for one thing. And it's nitpicky as hell.
Go for it.
All the color's gone. I liked the color of the original Switch.
I'm sure they'll sell you new ones that are colorful.
Yeah,
right, but
like
the Switch came colorful, and it feels like a downgrade.
So my guess
Even though
is that
everything's better.
I get you. My guess is that they're probably I think it is very likely that there will be original Switch color version of the Switch 2, so you still get the Joy-Cons with the pink and blue, like all the way on it, if you want that. Or you can get the version that's just all black with like the hints, the accents of pink and blue. But there'll probably also be some sort of like specific like game that releases with the console version, right? Because in the trailer here, hang on, we go a little bit further. They actually revealed one of the games that's probably going to be on release with the Switch 2. And it's a new Mario Kart. Mario Kart 9 is on the way.
Yay.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Me too, I like Mario Kart. But I'm not excited about fucking Donkey Kong. I don't know what the fuck they did to my man, but what is this? They made it look like fucking Seth Rogen Kong from the movie, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I like old Donkey Kong better. I like rare Donkey Kong.
Yeah, the only thing I've actually seen functionality-wise that I'm a little concerned about is how the Joy-Cons connect.
Yeah.
It's going to be too thin for that flange to be that stable, and I'm kind of curious to see how they make it, because I'm worried about that breaking off, and if that breaks, the whole console shot.
I think the way it's inset is supposed to carry most of the weight as opposed to where the flange itself is set, because I mean you'll notice that it's supposed to slide in with an extra ridge as opposed to just everything being on where it slides on the connector where it slides into itself. So I think there's a possibility to hold the weight. Yeah, see how that whole inset there is supposed to hold it as opposed to just that one little piece. I do think
because here's the thing,
the Nintendo 64 mindset where you just jam it in.
A lot of 80s kids, oh boy.
I feel like there's probably going to be like some like magnets in there to help like more easily set it in place and like have it fit together more smoothly. And of course you got to remember that this whole thing, this console, like all Nintendo consoles, are aimed more towards younger demographics, kids, right? So they're probably going to have that in mind, and the fact that kids are incredibly destructive, and make the console fairly sturdy to accommodate that, I would think.
Yeah,
because otherwise they're going to get like a million returns in like the first week of this thing being out, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, look how many returns they got on their Joy-Cons from the first Switch drop.
Well, true, but that was more like an internal, like the Joy-Con drift shit was like, yeah, that was more of a thing that the kids couldn't necessarily be blamed for breaking that, because that's just something that broke on its own due to, I don't know, faulty design in the first place. But I mean, I would imagine they probably would have addressed that as well, right? For the Switch too, because obviously they still have Joy-Cons. So Joy-Con drift being an issue, especially, like you said, right around when the first Switch released, that might be something they would think to try and correct as much as possible.
Right. But my point isn't that this is going to have stick drift. It's they sent that out, and it was an issue that they didn't think of. And that's what I'm worried about with this flange and how if it's flimsy or sturdy.
I get you, and hopefully it's been through enough product testing for them to have like realized that, you know, unless they make it sufficiently sturdy, it's going to be an issue in the long term, or hell, even the short term, depending on the kid it goes to, right? So, yeah, but I do understand your concerns, and we'll see how things shake out that way. I mean, could be fine, could be bad. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, overall though, I think it's fantastic, and
yeah, looks really nice.
Curious to see how well it'll do.
And apparently releasing this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're supposed to get the tech specs in April.
Yeah, Q3 at the earliest. I'm gonna assume like holiday season Q4, right? We're doing probably, you know, somewhere in early December would be my guess for actual release of this thing. That way, you know, parents have time to look for it ahead of Christmas, you know. When the store's gonna be selling out of this thing pretty quick, most likely, as Nintendo consoles always do, because the kids see it on the TV commercials and they're like, mommy, you want that one? Because it's Nintendo, it's the Mario Kart. I love Mario, I want the Mario game, etc. and so on, right? That's how the shit usually goes.
I think you'll have enough adults too who remember, you know, their Nintendo games that
oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna get one of these fucking things, obviously. And of course, it's backwards compatible, so that's nice. That's handy.
Yeah, now I'm more curious to see what the specs come out on and what features it has with connecting to stuff, because they're not the only handheld out there now. Like,
yeah.
Steam Deck taking off the what is it, the Asus Ally or the ROG Ally, and then Asus has one. There's a lot of them coming out that are really good, so I really want to see how it's going to compete with that.
Yeah, this needs to be able to play its own games at least as well as a fucking Steam Deck can emulate them.
Wouldn't that be nice?
we need the stable, at least stable 30. Though, if you can get that shit up to 60, God, please, that would be very helpful. I just want to be able to play Age of Calamity on this fucking thing finally, without dealing with 15 fucking frames per second. All right, that's all I really want. That's all I've been ever since the Switch came out. Ever since that fucking game came out, I'm like, God, I wish there was a better Switch to play this on.
The problem is Nintendo's concentration has never been on things like frame rate and graphics.
Yeah, I mean, it's always about the gimmicks, but like at this point, to a point, they got to realize that, yeah, we need to step up our technology a bit here.
But do they? They're doing really well, even though they haven't.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's just the big part of it is the fact that Nintendo was kind of in its own class, right? It was never a part of the console wars. The way I always put it, right, is that like in the heyday of the console wars, when it was Xbox and PS5 like slugging it out in a boxing ring, fucking Nintendo was outside in a fucking sand pit just making little sand castles and shit like that. That's kind of what Nintendo was doing. The other two were having like a fucking slug match. They're just, you know, they're on their own little world, just imagining and having fun in a little cardboard box or whatever, right? Like, that's kind of Nintendo, almost literally, right? When they were fucking selling cardboard that one time.
Oh yeah, literal piece of cardboard.
Yeah,
and people still bought it.
They did for like $100. Stupid shit. Yeah. So you know what? You may have a big point there, Rada, but wishful thinking on my part as an older gamer who does sorta kinda care that the games run well and look nice. I would hope that they at least, and like I said, somebody who said that the specs are going to be comparable to, say, a PS4 in terms of like power, and it's like if they can do that in a handheld, then you know that's good, that's solid. We'll take those.
Yep.
But like I said, I believe even though the Steam Deck and like the Asus, whatever the fuck that is, like Asus put out a thing too, right? A tablet, kind of like the Steam Deck.
So,
There's a couple of them coming out, isn't there?
Yeah, and I believe we heard from Sony a while back. They're also looking into handhelds again, so we might be getting the Vita 2 at some point in the next few years. I don't know, but there is going to be more competition. Yeah, probably not, no. But but the thing is, there are other like companies or entities looking into competing in this handheld space. So if Nintendo wants to, you know, keep their chokehold on it, they're gonna have to step it up at least a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
And I do think they realize that.
Yeah, so the ROG Ally is selling its upgraded version for $450.
Oh my god.
That's not bad.
That's probably going to be around what this thing's going to be charging, right? I mean, I would say like 350 is right around where I think they're going to be charging for this. That's my guess right now for Switch 2.
And then the
I'm
other
kind of
one's
feeling
Lenovo
$299.
Legion.
299? Because how much was the Switch? Was it 250 when it first dropped?
I bought a special edition and I don't remember what I paid, but I know it was more than normal. I want to say like 3 or 350 for mine.
Because hang on, I don't think they've ever actually like changed the price of the Switch, so we probably
No,
just look at it right
Nintendo
now.
doesn't really do sales.
They do not. So let's see, Nintendo Switch.
So yeah, ignore the third one completely. It's going to be Steam Deck and the ROG Ally. The Lenovo one is selling for $750. So
Holy
yeah, that's
Okay, so from Walmart right now, the OLED Switch, the one that has like the OLED screen on it, that's going for $282 right now. And then Switch Lite's $180. I'm trying to look like just the Switch itself. Walmart Nintendo Switch console $270. So I mean, I feel like 350 is probably a solid estimate. I feel like 300's not quite enough for.
Maybe we'll see.
I don't think they'll jump up to 400 though. I think that what's that? The OLED, 282 for the OLED.
it'll probably be 350, 400 easy.
I don't know if they'll go all the way up to 400. I don't know if they'd be willing to go that. It kind of depends on.
Nintendo is greedy.
Yeah.
They're greedy, but at the same time, they understand who they're marketing to, and they're not going to price themselves out of a sale.
Yeah, because all they really have
want more than one of these in a house.
All they really have is the family market, right? Like the kids and the parents who buy the console for the kids, etc. Like they're not competing against the people who play on PCs or the people who play on like the bigger, crazier, more impressive consoles. They're competing with the PS5 or the Xbox. So they're going to try and keep. I think they would try to keep a price would be reasonable to somebody to a mom who just wants to buy a nice little Christmas gift for their kid, right? So I think 350 is probably the most reasonable. Like I said, could go up to 400. I think Sleazy's got a point. They might jump up there. We'll have to see. Again, inflation is a thing. Yeah, so they might, but because there's two ways to view that, right? Because they could be viewing inflation from their end, where their shit costs more to produce, so they need to feel like they need to charge from their console, or they could look at it from the consumer end, where the consumers are being fucked by inflation and probably aren't going to be willing to spend so much on a console like the Switch 2. So I don't know which way Nintendo would be thinking about that on that particular front. But I imagine we'll find, if it's coming out this year, we'll probably get a price point somewhat, probably in the summer, maybe. Yeah, once they are doing the I believe they're doing a more detailed rundown for the Switch 2 in April, right? April 2nd was when they said?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're getting more details. I think it's actually part of this commercial right here. Let me see. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, 4/2/2025. So once April comes around, we'll probably get a few more details. If the price will be included in that, who could say? I probably. If they're doing like a whole direct for it, I imagine they'll probably drop the price point too. So we'll see. I am curious to know whether or not they're going to be dropping a new Smash with this, because I feel like that's been the Nintendo modus operandi for the last few consoles, right? Whenever something new drops, we also got to include a new Smash game to push those units, right?
Yeah,
No.
It's Smash, it's Mario Kart, it's
Mario Kart,
Zelda.
yeah. Mario Kart may be the one they lean on for this, but I feel like they're probably gonna maybe two strong candidates for like helping to move this console, right? And Mario Kart is definitely one of them, especially since, God, how long has it been since 8 came out? I feel like it's been like half a decade or some shit. I feel like 8's been out for a
Didn't it come out with the
long
Switch?
time. No, I think it came out on the Wii U initially.
Did it? I never
I
had
think
a
so.
Wii
I
U,
mean,
so.
Yeah, me neither. Not a lot of people did, to be fair. But let's see, Mario
2014.
Kart, it was 2014. Jesus Christ, holy
So
shit!
it was a decade ago. There you go.
There you go. It was a whole decade since the last Mario Kart. So yeah, this is a good opener. This is a strong opener. Though I will say that the footage they showed in the commercial here, that's real mundane looking for a Mario Kart game, I gotta say. I can't throw like a Rainbow Road up there. You just got them driving around some fucking yee ass desert, right? Like, I don't know. They could probably have gone with some more interesting gameplay for that, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, it looks fine. It looks like a Mario Kart game. It's just kind of not a whole lot to it there, but we'll see. I'm curious. I feel like we're probably getting one more like really strong title to help push the console for that direct. I just don't know what it's going to be. My guess would be Smash. That feels like the go-to. Could be a new Mario game, like a new Odyssey 2 or some shit. I don't know. Could be Metroid 4 finally. Mario Sunshine 2 would go so fun. Oh man, I would shit a little bit if they announced Mario Sunshine 2. I'd be so down. That'd be amazing. That'd be incredible. Alright, but we'll see. But I'm excited. Not like super, I'm not excited as I was like when the fucking Wii came out or anything, but like, it's cool. I'm glad that we're finally getting a better Switch. The Switch upgrade that has been languishing for a few years now. Finally getting there. Okay, what else? Oh yeah, this one's just a funny little article here. Apparently, players have asked Helldivers 2 boss Shams Georgiani not to cast Chris Pratt in the upcoming live-action film. His response was...
I'm okay with that.
Well, hang on. His response is great, though. His response was that they're hoping for as many A-list actors as possible so they can all get killed violently immediately.
Amen. That's
Like,
wasn't that what we
Pratt-
were saying last week?
It was, yes, exactly what we were hoping for the movie
Chris
concept.
Pratt throwing in the airstrike that kills everybody. And
Oh.
being the
Yes.
last one standing.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah. That'd be fun. I just love this response, right? He's just completely leaning into the camp nonsense that this movie needs to be. It
Yes.
has to be just stupid fucking nonsense to be any kind of success. To be authentically Helldivers, right? And I'm very much looking forward to it. I love this mentality. I love seeing this. This makes me feel like it's got a good chance.
Yeah,
Are you going to... Oh, go ahead.
There's such a difference between what they want to make and what will actually happen. Because
Yeah,
it's still
true.
Hollywood.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's fair. Though, I mean, I feel like a lot of Helldivers humor is like physical, right? Just hyper violence, right? And I feel like Hollywood doesn't necessarily have an issue with any of that, right? Their whole thing is like, oh, we can't be misogynists or racists or any of that shit. But if you want to just blow someone apart, I feel like that's still on the table.
Yeah,
we can go
but
on
the
that.
problem is they put in, well, we have to blow all the men apart and the women have to be the strong, independent women. Which would absolutely kill it. Just destroy it right out of the gate.
Well, I mean, we've seen the whole cultural shift that's been going on, so maybe we can avoid something quite so apparent in the Helldivers 2 movie. Hell, we avoid it in the game, right? You got male, female Helldivers. Everybody's getting blown apart. Doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking matter. And slapstick humor, yeah, there needs to be plenty of that.
Lots of accidental death.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see everybody standing around a flagpole saluting, and then they all just get blown up.
Yeah. Or acid sprayed or whatever, right? Like that one gif.
Right.
That's good stuff, though. I'm mildly optimistic given this response to that question, or what the fans are hoping for, because I actually think that is the better get here. Take actors that people are just sick of seeing in everything, like Chris Pratt or Pedro Pascal. Hell, even fucking what's his name, Jack Black, right? Just put him in there just so you can murk him. Just put him in there just to get decapitated, blown apart, tossed across an entire fucking planet, whatever, right? All that good stuff.
Jack Black's best role was in The Jackal.
I never heard of that one.
No, nobody.
Nope.
Oh my god, it's so good. Bruce Willis annihilates him like 50 times with a 50.
Oh.
Ooh.
Wait, does he just keep coming
completely-
back? Is he like immortal or some shit? What the fuck?
No. They just shoot him for the hell of it. It's fantastic.
Oh, you say he does it 50 times? Like, oh, so he just keeps coming back and dying again?
Like, go look that scene up on YouTube. It's
Can
fantastic.
Is it like especially like gory and violent, or? Because I don't get
Nothing-
YouTube on our asses on. I hear
No,
YouTube goes out. Well, Actually,
It's like
fuck
80s,
it. You know what?
90s action. It's like, it's crazy funny. It's hilarious. But
No, fuck it.
it's not
We
like-
already say a bunch of shit to get us canceled. Why not? Let's see.
Let's say had me on.
What's it called?
There's
Jackal,
that
right?
too.
Jackal.
Yeah, Jack Black's
Jack Black
scene.
dies. I don't know. Let's see what that.
If you go back, it said Jack Black's scene right.
Oh.
The 3-minute part might get used some copyright issues.
There you go. See that first one right there? There you go.
This? What right here?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, it's the end. What the hell? Did I watch this at some point already?
Maybe.
You had to have.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
His fucking pants fall.
Get up! Every time this scene, I'm just like, yes.
Stop there!
Stop there.
Just stop there! Turn around! Hold out that pack of cigarettes! Don't be afraid!
Be very afraid.
He looks pretty afraid.
Stand very still!
Yeah. Yeah.
Stand still!
God, I love Bruce Willis.
So good.
Seeing him with that much hair is a little off-putting, I must say.
Yeah, Bruce Willis with hair is.
Oh!
Ooh! Nice.
Yes!
Told you it was off.
Well,
Whole thing just gone.
Just keeps going like, nope, we're shooting.
A little bit of stick drift on that.
Yes. I told you like 50 times.
oh! Jesus. Yeah, see, this is exactly the kind of thing we need for Helldivers 2. This is it right here. 100%.
It's like good old 80s, 90s action. That's it. That's all we're asking.
And as much like practical effects as possible for this. You know, obviously you're probably gonna have to CGI the fucking bugs and the robots and all that shit. But like, if we can practical effects as much of the explosions and the blood spray and all that as possible, that would be ideal.
No,
That
no
would be it.
CGI bugs. You get all the famous actors,
Mhm.
you fly them out to a planet, you go find a bug species that's hyper aggressive, you put them in there with them, and you just record the action live.
Listen, hey, please, we're trying to get these budgets down for these Hollywood productions. All right, they're already getting way too high without flying people to another fucking planet. All right.
Well, that's the thing. You don't have to pay the actors. You save hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to throw their family something or they're gonna sue you.
Yeah.
You can throw their families on the planet too.
Jesus Christ. Y'all watching Jackal? We watched a clip of Jackal. Yes, Jan. Hey, buddy. See ya. I might have to watch that whole movie at some point. That did seem pretty interesting.
It is really good.
Even though he didn't remember watching the clip the first time, apparently.
Right?
Apparently, no, I don't know why it was that far in. That was good. I'd never seen that before. I straight up. Tropic Thunder
That's
vibes
not
would be
what
great.
YouTube says.
Yeah, well, fuck YouTube. Shrink the actors and have them fight real Earth bugs. Yeah, sure. Maybe we could try that. As long as we're trying to discover new planets, sure. Why don't we fucking invent shrinking technology on top of it? Why not? Why not?
I mean, shrinking technology has got to be cheaper than flying to Mars right now.
Yeah,
Or to another bug planet. I mean, first you have to find the bug planet, and then you have to get everybody there. Realistically, the shrinking technology is the better way to go at this point.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I just love that I started a conversation where we're seriously contemplating what to do with actors and how to have them get eaten by bugs. You know?
You act like I don't think about that on a regular basis. You know me better than that.
Holy shit. I just it's I don't know. There's something weird. There's something very strange about the catharsis of actors you're sick of going into a movie where they are going to be like absolutely annihilated
Over and over and over again. Yeah.
the actor kill list. Oh man.
Like Stallone walks up to the space shuttle and somebody just puts their hand up. No, not you.
Sir Shrinkin, we GMO bugs to be larger? Maybe. Why not? We'll try that. I'm sure that won't fucking backfire on the entire race after the fact. No, we'll be all right. We'll be okay.
I have concerns about that one.
Well, yeah. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Thinking about
Want to swing by and say hi, gonna alert. Thanks, Jan.
I don't think they could live long enough.
Giant bugs?
Yeah.
Probably not, right?
Depends on how we chose to do it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, their physiology's adapted to take air in at a certain size, and when you just explode them, it's like, I don't know if that'll work.
I don't know.
I'm sure
But
somebody will
if
figure
we're
it out
going to
someday.
work on it to make it so that we can use them in these kind of movies, then we would almost have to find a way to genetically engineer them to further survive the process. So realistically, when you consider humanity and its seemingly latent desire to attempt to destroy itself at every possible turn, I could see us actually doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It seems like the comments are down for this idea. They're just sending the A-listers in to kill them. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
everything
not to
would
get
be
killed.
a raving
To get killed.
success
Yeah.
if it weren't for Sony.
And I feel like that'd be fun for I feel like that'd actually be pretty fun for the actors too, right? Like what's like how many
Temporary,
things
yeah.
are as fun being an actor as like being a part of a horrific death scene? That's got to be amazing. That's got to be a lot of fun.
I just had the greatest idea for this movie.
What's up?
We put Sean Bean in it, and he's
Oh,
the
God.
only one that survives. The only one that survives.
Who's Sean Bean again?
He's got to have one eventually.
Oh,
He
this
was
guy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. See, he does always die, doesn't he? It's true.
Yes.
You know what? That would be pretty fun. How old is he at this point? I mean, like his 50s or 60s or some shit. Like,
Old enough?
yeah. I mean, he'd probably still do it. I'm just saying, he's gonna be on in years by now.
All right,
Let's see.
So he was born in '59.
Oh,
Yeah,
So
he's kind of
50.
old.
wow. He's actually older than my mother. That's
Good
impressive.
lord. Ned Stark. Yeah. Dawn of the Dead. Was he in Dawn of the Dead? It's been a
I don't
long time
know.
since I saw that movie.
I don't
Insects don't
remember him
have
being in
lungs.
either version.
Animals are doing oxygen directly to the important parts of their bodies. Yeah, now there's logistics things with a giant insect that would kind of fuck them over, but all that aside, I think that's as much as we really have to say about this whole thing. But I think it could be fun. Yeah. As long as no one takes it very seriously, I think it'd be really fun. What we should take seriously though, shit like this. A video game industry analyst has said that there is hope in the games industry that GTA 6 could cost up to $100, so that other companies could raise their default prices as well. I don't know about that shit. Also, using the word hope in relation to a price increase on games that are already $70 fucking dollars.
Right.
I'm raising the black flag if video games are $100.
Yeah.
The thing is when it comes, there are going to be so few games that will actually manage to break even, let alone sell a profit at $100, that it isn't worth it for them. They need games, AAA gaming specifically, needs to get its costs down, not try to raise the price on the consumer. Because right now, and especially with the way things have been going recently, there is no way in ever-loving hell you are going to convince the majority of gamers that $100 for a video game is worth their money.
Not in this fucking economy, you're not. I mean, not even
Not
let's say
anymore.
it was like since like 20 years ago's economy, right? Even then, that would have been a really fucking hard sell.
I don't know
Nowadays,
the money.
no,
I
absolutely
mean, even with
not.
inflation making $100 seem like less than it used to, but when I was a kid, $29.99 for a video game seemed like a lot. Getting $30 together to buy a used video game seemed like a lot. And now you're telling me that you want me to pay $100 for a game? I think GTA can potentially maybe pull it off. Fact of the matter is I did the math, and they might raise it just because the development costs on this game are going to be astronomical.
Most likely, yes.
Sell enough copies at $70 each is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, let's get the details here, shall we? Matthew Ball of Epilion has released his State of Video Gaming in 2025 report, which muses on how the video game industry could change in the forthcoming year. One large focus of the report is Grand Theft Auto 6, which will doubtlessly be the biggest video game release of the year, should it meet its planned 2025 release date. According to the report, there is hope within the video game industry that publisher Take-Two will use the unprecedented excitement around GTA 6 in order to bump up the default price of the game to $100. Okay. So I guess a lot of companies are hoping that they'll be able to just ride GTA's coattails, because they'll take the opportunity to just fucking, blindside people with the price increase, and hoping that like they'll want the game so much that they'll just go for it. They'll just accept it.
Yeah, I think they'll. Yeah, they're under the mistaken idea that if GTA can get away with it, then they can too. No.
Yeah, that is some pie in the sky bullshit. 100%. That is not happening. But let me see. It's believed that if Take-Two took this step in GTA 6, a game that will sell incredibly well regardless of the price, then others could follow suit and potentially aid in recovering spiraling development costs. Or maybe, as I said on Twitter the other day, they temper their fucking development costs from the jump. Instead of trying to have these massive $100 million, $200 million, $300 million fucking budgets for one game, right? You don't put so many eggs in one goddamn basket and then be surprised when you don't get the same return on investment, right? Like,
yeah.
Again, I brought up what are they? Oh god damn it! I forget the name every time. Razor Software, something like that. The guys who did Space Marine 2. Right, like the guy talked about how they actually had a fairly reasonable budget. I think it was less than $100 million to get Space Marine 2 made, right? But they did fucking gangbusters because they focused in on what they actually wanted to do for the game. They focused on tightening up the gameplay itself. The presentation obviously very, very nice as well. But they just kind of kept it. They kept the whole project tight. They kept their eyes on the ball, right? They didn't try and feature creep the shit out of the game just to put tons of shit that people might not even give a fuck about, right? They just focused on making a good, fun product at a reasonable price in a reasonable time frame, and they fucking crushed it, right? It paid off in spades.
Literally turn around to Concord with a $400 million budget that was complete dog shit out of the game.
Yeah.
There was no reason that game should have cost $400 million.
Yeah, that's the other element to this, right? If your game sucks, then obviously, forget 70. Of course, nobody's gonna pay fucking $100 if your game isn't even worth like 50 to them, right? If it's not even worth 20 to them, then obviously trying to charge 100 is just you're pipe dreaming. The fuck are you doing?
Yeah, there was a ton of controversy at the price of Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah. Yeah, there was,
and that one was just that was just DLC that cost up $200. That wasn't even the base game, and now they're talking about they want to do the base game for $100. Like I don't see that flying.
Yeah, not unless they just start putting the DLC in from the get go. Maybe they did that. If they stopped fucking cutting content out of the game to make a DLC pack and just left it in the base game to begin with, maybe. Even then, though, just trying to lump sum 100 for anybody for a single game is just not gonna fly. There's too many elements. There's too many things working against the current video game industry for them to think that that's even remotely a good idea.
Yeah.
But
hell, I'm too Jewish to pay full price on indie games.
There you go. Yeah, you wait for the Steam sale. You wait for the Steam sale, and you get your money's worth. Absolutely.
I'll pay full price on some indie games, but
I'll
not
buy
Jewish,
the DLC if it's a good game.
Yeah. And I'll like, I have shelled out on some special editions. I'll admit, right? When what was it? When Street Fighter 6 dropped, you know, I went for the cool Ultra Edition that was like 120 or something. But that came with like this the fucking cool box I had back there. I don't know if I can like see if I move the green screen for a second. But yeah, like back there, they got the 2 figurines that came with the game, right? Of 2 characters that had like these cool backdrops. The box had all kinds of other cool shit in it, like stickers and all, like and like a whole art book was in there, right? Like that was super worth it to me. But I'm not the majority of people, right? Most normies just want the game. They don't really care for all the extra paraphernalia and all that shit. Like, and they're probably not going to be willing to pay much extra for it, right? That's like all that $100 plus dollars. You got to save that shit for your special ultra editions or whatever the fuck, right?
And honestly, even now that the special editions, the boxes and stuff don't come with an actual physical version of a game, I'm less likely to buy them now.
Yep. Sell games and episodes at $32 a piece. I feel like somebody tried that at one point. Wasn't that a thing that oh god, what was the name of that game? It was a D4 or something, like Dark Dreams Don't Die. Is that what I'm thinking of?
No,
I do remember there was a game that actually like sold itself piecemeal like that, where there was like episodes of the game that would come out periodically and you'd like buy them separately. I feel like they actually did try that.
A parody game called DLC The Quest where you had to buy DLC in the game.
Oh.
That's cute.
That's pretty good. Okay, $100 is just too much, but what about 10 easy payments of $9.99? Well, I mean, hey, if you get that, whatever that fucking Ubisoft thing is, Ubisoft Prime or Plus, whatever the fuck they call it, that's essentially what you're doing, right?
The whole idea of subscription services for video games drives me crazy. I understand why some people like them. They feel like they're getting a value because they get all these games that they can play for, just $17.99 a month instead of having to buy the games. And they figure that over time, they're actually playing more games than they would actually spend if they buy. But realistically, unless you are buying or playing a full game every month, you're going to end up paying more than you spend on games in a year anyway. And you're further incentivizing them to release crappy games.
Yeah, and a lot of them are even raising the prices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, what else I got to say here? GTA publisher Take-Two was one of the first to raise the price of games from 60 to 70 in 2020, using the transition to the next generation of consoles as an excuse. While it is likely GTA 6 will be released with a $100 version as part of the lineup of various special editions, it's currently expected that the standard case game will be $70, which, that's still the smart way to go about it. And the other part of this is like, games used to be 60, they jumped up, some of them jumped up to 70. Not all of, games that come out are 70. Some stuck with 60, God bless them. But trying to jump straight from 70 up to 100 is fucking ridiculous. There's at least over the years they kind of did like $10 increments, right? And they were usually spaced out pretty far, like I said, with the advent of a new console, right? That sort of kind of makes sense a little bit, right? You as a player, you're still kind of side-eyeing it a bit, but you can kind of just brush it off. It's like, well, much better technology, cooler graphics, and all that shit. I guess, right? If I like the game enough, I'll shell out for it. But if you're trying to dump a $30 price increase all at once in the middle of what is almost a recession at this point, fucked economy.
Oh no, it's been a recession forever.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Just because they try to redefine it doesn't mean it's not a recession.
Yeah. So it's bananas. It's bizarre logic that they could go and get away with this shit. Gaming budgets have exploded in recent years as expectations have grown for how much content included in a game. Has it though? Because I don't know, that Misai fucking waifu bullshit game on Steam that's like $20. That shit sold like several million copies, and it's like the most basic shit in the world. Mm-hmm. Like fucking people love fucking pixel games like Dead Cells and shit, right? You can make some more simple projects for more simple prices and still probably like make out pretty well as a developer, especially in a world where we live in a digital age where there's like digital copies that completely cut out the cost of like physical copy production, right? You can make 1 million copies of a digital game in an instant, and that's like no further production costs on that end. So I don't know. This feels like they're trying a little too hard to make this sell, right?
Yeah, and I can understand some of the cost going up, but a lot of it feels like bloat. Like, I mean, if you look at the
Absolutely.
3D programs or even Photoshop and all that whole series, the creative suites, like you can't buy and just keep a single version of those. It's all subscription based. And I don't know if you've looked at the price of those.
I heard something lately that they're getting up there.
It's retardedly expensive.
Yeah.
Like, that's not even a joke. Like,
Nope.
okay, so I'm working on a game with a buddy of mine now, and we're trying to find ways to do things on the cheap. And it's like, I've got to download 10 different plugins to get one thing to work in GIMP so I can do one thing we need to do. Because we're not paying $500 a month for one copy of Photoshop that we both can't use. It's not happening.
Yeah, man. Just, I don't know.
Trying to get the business version?
Yeah, because we would have to do that because we're doing this under an LLC. And
Okay. Yeah.
Gotcha.
work stuff.
I get you.
I'm lucky because I started my subscription way back in my high school years, so I'm still only paying a little bit a month, and I'll be fucked if I let go of that.
Yeah. I might have to hit you up because I need something unpacked.
I'll try to help. I can't make any promises.
We all do what we can, right? Let's see. Gaming budgets. Oh, I read that bit already. Zephyr game makers have begun to offering incentives that they can produce without any extra cost, but still charge for it. For example, many large games now offer an early access window of a few games to those who are willing to buy the most expensive version of a game, which is horseshit.
Which is so
by the way.
retarded.
Yeah, it's absolute horseshit. You're not. You're
especially when you have those games that release and they don't even have the day one patch, and then they release the day one patch, and everything that you've done before the day one patch gets totally fucking erased.
The Outlaws thing was hilarious.
Those days were.
The Outlaws one was really funny.
Oh, that was awful. But then you had the Indiana Jones game come out, and despite the fact that game pushes ray tracing so much. The ray tracing capability wasn't actually in the game until the day one patch dropped. So once again, you had this game that you bought for early access, but you didn't actually get access to the game in the state that you would get it if you just bought it the day of.
Yeah. And usually, I forget who first said this, but they were right on the money when they said it, where the early access thing isn't you actually getting like a special privilege of getting the game earlier than everyone else. It's you getting the game on time and everyone else is having the game held at ransom from them for an extra $30 or whatever. All right.
Now, you see, I disagree with that because I do buy early access games, but what you're doing is you are kind of paying to get to be the beta tester. So you get more input on the game, and as long as the game doesn't do something like vaporware and disappear on you, you can have a really good experience all the way up till release, and then you have that game that everybody else has to pay more for at a lower price. An excellent example of how that works would be Baldur's Gate 3, because it actually went into early access, and I want to say 2020?
Yeah,
because that's when I think I bought it about then.
Okay, there is a distinction there for sure. Because something like Path of Exile 2 is doing the same thing, where the game released several months before, like the full release that's going to be free for $30, right? But you get to go in like several months early, right? It's a massive difference between like say the 3-day early whatever, right? That like say Outlaws did. So there's definitely a distinction to be made there. But I feel like that is more
that's a different type of early access. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because like something like what you just said with Baldur's Gate or Path of Exile 2, those feel like a more genuine, like, yeah, we want to make the game better, and we want to give you guys like a little treat to go along with it. So we'll get you in here like several months early. You pay a little fee, and at the same time, it's like with something like Path of Exile, right? That game is going to be completely free, but the early access for like 3 or 4 months, 5, I don't know. It's gonna be a minute before the full release of the game, but that was only like $30, right? And even then, the game came out with like more content than most $60, $70 games. right? Even though it's only half of the game technically currently exists, only half of the roster of playable characters, only half of the chapters that exist, but like that is a ridiculous amount of content to go through, even so, and it only at $30, right? That's just crazy in my opinion. That's pretty consumer friendly, I think. Yeah, while still making sure the developers get paid because they put in obviously a shit ton of work. The game looks and plays amazing, and same deal with like Baldur's Gate 3, right?
Right.
But when you're talking about something like Star Wars Outlaws, or like probably I think Assassin's Creed Shadows is also going to be doing like the 3-day early access shit, like that just that feels that just feels very what's the word
disingenuous.
Yeah. I was thinking of a different one, but I couldn't quite. It wasn't quite coming together in my mind. But that one's good enough. Yeah. So that's what I mean. That's what when I say like the game's being held at ransom for another 3 days. That's what I mean specifically when they do that shit.
Well, and the funny thing is it's not even really being held for ransom because you get it if you get it on time if you pay less. You're paying more to get it early.
Well, I like in my opinion, my mentality, like when they do that specifically, the 3-day early access thing, it's kind of the other way around. It feels like you're getting it when it really just should have released on its own. Like the whole thing of offering that early access shit. It's like, I don't know. It just feels scummy to me. You know, it's you're getting charged just for a few days early access, but it's another like $30 on top of the like 70 or 100 or whatever you're already paying, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, it just feels shitty.
I guess I don't look at it as you're getting the full game at a higher price because you're not getting the full game because the day one patch doesn't really release until everybody else is supposed to get it.
Yeah, though that's also a bit of a case by case, right? Yeah, true. That's also a bit of a case by case though, because like some games, like even if there needs to be like some day one patch, it's usually not something super ridiculous. Like in the case of fucking Outlaws, it was a super ridiculous case, but not all games are like that. So kind of case by case basis on that a little bit as well.
Well, unfortunately, with a lot of those Outlaw like early access, you're still acting as a beta because even when you're releasing a game that's supposed to be fully done, there's always going to be situations, especially when you're talking about a game releasing on PC, that they weren't able to account for because of the huge number of variations when it comes to PC hardware, software, firmware, all that stuff. So someone's going to find some kind of big, massively broken problem and that they're going to have to fix.
Yeah. You mean like Amazon bricking people's computers?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's just wild. That is crazy. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about it. I mean, it's a bad move. We all agree it's a bad move. And if they go for it, I mean, it'll be fun to see how that pans out. I imagine there'll still be people who will go for it, right? There's still going to be the diehard GTA fans who will be willing to pay the 100. But like trying to make it a industry-wide thing is going to backfire horrifically. And that is not the kind of hit the industry needs right now. It's already
but I think
it's already
the big difference
heavily.
is that GTA has that big name that people have been waiting for this game for so long that they might actually be willing to pay that. You're not going to be able to do a new IP at that price. You're not going to be able to do one that's released in the last 4 or 5 years at that price point. It's going to be a price point that would only work in very specific cases, and GTA happens to be one of them that might be able to pull it off, but I don't really think so.
Yeah, like you need a big name to back that shit up. You really do.
Yeah.
Or else it's just not gonna work.
I think the best thing that would happen is they do this for $100, and Nintendo just comes out and says, "Our games are $50 from now on." Nintendo owned the market.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. That'd be funny. If Nintendo finally like puts on some boxing gloves and takes a genuine swing at one of the bigger boys in the console wars. That would be interesting. I kind of love to see that.
Get me in touch with Nintendo marketing. I want a job.
Nintendo, hire this man.
Really fast. And it's not just because I'm a Jew, damn it.
No, it is totally because I'm a Jew.
I said not just because. So I know it has a lot to do with it. It's okay.
Of course. Now, the next couple of stories, did I grab the tab for it? So I'm going to talk about the thing that was going on with the studio behind Veilguard, because that whole thing.
Oh, the
ended up happening in the
BioWare
last
stuff
couple
with that one weirdo leaving and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Did I put up a tab? I could have sworn I put that in the docket. But I imagine you've already done your due diligence on that one, right, Rada?
Oh God, no. Honestly,
No? Oh,
I
really?
pretty much have counted BioWare as dead and have immediately forgotten about it. People really underestimate my ability to just totally disconnect from something when I'm done with it.
The rats are fleeing the sinking ship.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. And I'm not paying it. I will be surprised if BioWare makes it to release Mass Effect 5. I will be shocked.
Okay, so Corinne Bush, the game director of Dragon Age Veilguard, has left BioWare and EA. BioWare Edmonton, the Veilguard studio, to be shuttered, allegedly. Rumor has it to be like this is not guaranteed right now. This is not set in stone. We don't know for sure if it's
Take it with
actually
a grain of salt,
Yeah.
but we're pretty sure it's probably going to happen.
Yeah. And if it does, it would also mean the end of fucking Mass Effect. So that's kind of big news.
Yep.
The rumor goes that with this is that the Edmonton offices of BioWare will be shuttered in February, just before the EA town hall for investors and gamers. It's sad that after completely destroying the game with DEI, trans scars, and terrible characters and writing, that the game director responsible for it all bails and leaves everyone else holding the bag. These people often fail upwards through a woke studio system bent on promoting activists instead of great developers. Sad. Is our first collab. Check out GT's video on it in the reply for more details. Now, I will say, I looked through the replies a little bit, and I had one that was my absolute favorite. It was so good. Somebody was like, "So did she have to did she have to pull a barb on the way out?" Or
That's a good one.
oh fuck, I love it. Oh, it's good. So yeah, thoughts, Amarada, on
Sleazy had it right on the nose. It's rats fleeing a sinking ship. I know there are people out there who's saying that she was fired. I don't know either way realistically,
Sure, yeah.
but realistically, yeah, she's just fleeing before she gets fired. Now, my concern is where does she land? Because I don't know who would be willing to take a risk on her name at this point in time. That would poison the well for your games, I think.
I think there actually already has been. I think she already has put out somewhere that she's been accepted into a new role somewhere else. I can't remember what the exact details were on that, though. I can try looking her up in her name and see if it pops up. But let me hang on. We'll write down the.
Fired. She'd be raising a stink on all the social media platforms, making up some bullshit story. She quit on her own.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing too. Is that she left? I would almost say to join someone's small studio or to try to start one of her own at this point.
Let me see. Mission fired. Sports, trans, and kids. Yeah, that we already knew. Additionally, studios. Okay, these are just all posts about the leaving. It doesn't say anything if she's landing somewhere else. I feel like it might have been Endymion who said something about it, but I don't quite remember.
That's factually accurate. That is actual footage from what happened.
Damn. Moby Games has removed Andy Bush, Sting, and moved them to Corinne Bush. Here, listed today. Viewed them now. They're all gone. Andy Bush is still listed under the Sims X handle, SimGuru Andy. Is Andy going back to Moby Games?
Who's Andy?
Okay, so Corinne's previous name,
right,
like before
okay.
the transition, I guess.
The real name. All right.
Yeah.
Transgengus.
Yeah. Oh, I feel bad for
An
laughing.
awful picture.
Please stop making kids. There we go. So yeah, that would be wild though. I mean, how to put this? the fact that Veilguard, and if the studio actually does shut down, the fact that Veilguard is the last thing they put out, man, that's a sad way to go. Joining was it joining fucking was it Firewalk? Was the studio that did Concord? Was that what they called? Yeah,
Yep.
right there, right there with Firewalk, just put out some bullshit and died.
I mean, that's kind of becoming a thing. You know, a AAA studio puts out something that's an absolute bomb and then kind of has to die because they were anticipating making the money that they spent on the project back, and they never do. And they don't have something good to back themselves up.
Because what was the what was it going around? They said internally that they were hoping for like 10 million copies sold for Veilguard.
I think 5 million.
Was it 5? I remember
I think
like
it was
the
5.
actual. I heard the actual numbers were somewhere around like maybe 1 million, something like that, right?
I think they got to like 1.5, but they were hoping for about 5. But obviously they didn't get anywhere close.
Oof, that's rough. You dead naming? I didn't do it, Bear. It was Emerada. She did it. And Sleazy too, yes.
I don't know how a name can be dead, but okay.
It's Kami gobbledygook. Don't pay it any attention.
Yeah.
I rarely do. It's okay. We're good.
Thanks for ruining Jay. Please don't hit you on the way out. That is, yeah. So yeah, I suppose this is just how it goes when you shit up the game, you shit up your studio, and it becomes a foregone conclusion, doesn't it?
To shit up everything.
Yeah. I guess we'll have to see how that pans out. We'll keep an eye out for the name Corinne Bush in the future, and
Right.
see where it pops up next. I imagine people won't be forgetting it after Dragon Age as a series died.
I mean, I don't normally. I used to be a gamer who would just go out and buy a game and play it, and not pay too much attention. But now I look at who's making the game. I didn't even used to look at the development studio that made my games, but now I do. I pay attention to it just because I don't want to waste money on something that stands a good chance of just pissing me off.
Yeah, that's true. I was somewhat didn't pay attention unless the developer was somebody like wacky, like fucking Yoko Taro or Kamiya, like with fucking Bayonetta or any of those guys. The ones who like you could just kind of act crazy on Twitter or whatever, right? Or put themselves in the game or any goofy shit like that. Those guys I know, but typically I don't really go out of my way to know who's working on what games. But yeah. On the off occasion, and it definitely wouldn't have cared who this person was before all this, but yeah, there we go. The legacy has been left. The push-ups, I doubt, have been done. To be honest, that's every time we see Corinne. Next time we see Corinne Bush talk about a new project on Twitter, everybody got to be spamming the replies with "Yo, Corinne, where's my push-ups? I want all 10." All 10.
Lock his account. You can't even do that.
Aww.
On Blue Sky. I'll make a Blue Sky account. It's like, yo, Corey, where's the push-ups? Where they at?
You'll get one post and be banned.
Put them up on TikTok before they take it down again. Oh, fuck. You're gonna carry those push-ups. They're gonna.
They're tracking you till we get our push-ups. Marv already, man.
Holy shit. So aside from that, there's a couple other things to talk about. This one, yeah. So, Rada, you want to give us the rundown on what's going on with Kingdom Come? Because I haven't had the chance to look through exactly all the details, but if you can,
I'll give the abbreviated.
Give us the
version.
context.
So earlier this last week, or later this last week, in the last week or so, there was an article discovered from Saudi Arabia stating that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 had been banned for an unskippable LGBT scene. Now, it's turns out later from people who actually read Arabic and translate it, that it didn't say that it was an unskippable LGBTQ scene. It was just that it was a indecent something. My whole issue with that is, last time I checked, I don't take my morality from the Middle East in general, but that's just me. It doesn't work out well for me in general if I do. And of course, people got upset. They reacted to it immediately. Oh no, there's gay stuff, etc., etc. The developer comes out and creates a thread addressing everything, including a few spoilers about the game, saying that yes, there is the possibility of, if you choose to, taking a path that would lead to a gay relationship. All cutscenes are skippable is really the important things to cover. There's more in there, but I really don't care past that. And then the dev decided to do a bunch of really stupid stuff and start attacking YouTubers and gamers. As well as they locked down their forums on Steam, created a new conduct rules, no hate speech, blah, 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 and basically pissed everybody off. That's the
long and short of it. And of course, this was his statement after
the Reader's
the
Digest
fact,
version,
right? Because this is what? It's January 19th.
That's the
so
thread
couple
that he
days
made,
ago.
Yeah, I tossed that one in there because I couldn't find the original one that started the whole thing.
Gotcha, but this was essentially what he did to address the situation, right?
This was his This was his thread to address it in the first place. Yes.
Okay, so let's see. Time to address wild claims some people spread that are apparently based just on one screenshot and a poorly translated tweet. Spoiler alert, contains spoilers about the story. 1 of 10. There are no unskippable cutscenes in our games. Anybody who claims otherwise never played them. Okay, good to know. We are not nor ever were a band-aided country, at least not that we know of. Okay, cool. As much as I don't like forced diversity, nobody was forcing us to do anything, and we are not forcing anyone to do certain things. Okay, sounds fair. 4 out of 10. Gay characters were already in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. Yeah, okay. Yeah, imagine there were a few of them hanging around, and even in that time period, they probably weren't very open about it. But,
no, they really weren't.
But I imagine, they probably were there somewhere. Number 5. Kingdom Come Deliverance is an RPG. You're responsible for your decisions. If you want Henry to try a same-sex adventure, feel free. If you don't want to, you don't have to. All affairs are and were in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 purely optional. The characters are perfectly aware that it was a forbidden sin. Now, from what I understand here is that a lot of people had the idea that Henry in the first game was just straight up a heterosexual, and this is kind of infringing on that. Was that the big tizzy on this particular point?
That's how a lot of people feel about it. Honestly, I think that comes from a different mindset in terms of how people approach RPGs, but I have no firm data on that at this point in time.
Okay, because if that is the case, because that's kind of how I was listening to Arch talk about this a little bit, and that's kind of how he laid it out, and it the way he was describing it, it does sound reasonable, right? If you were going to, again, RPG, so if you want to have the freedom to play the character any way you want to play them, I mean, that seems reasonable enough, right? And if you don't want to play the character that way, then you can just not do that, and that also seems pretty reasonable, right? And as long as they handle that content in the correct historical context, which it does seem their whole thing over at that studio is to be as historically accurate as possible on the matter. If you kind of make things extremely difficult for your character by trying to go down a gay storyline, then yeah, sure, why not? As long as it's still handled in the right historical context of what that would be like, okay, cool. As soon as people find out you get chased down the street by the priest of the church, right, or whatever, is what it is. So I don't really mind it as long as it's not ham-fisted in a way that's completely unbelievable the way it was in, say, fucking Vanguard, right? Sorry,
here's
Veilguard.
Yeah, right. Here's the thing where I get so I haven't played the first game, obviously, so I don't know how romances were handled in the game. For all I know, you are capable of playing the game without actually romantically entangling your character at all. I don't know if romance is a forced part of the game. So realistically, throughout the game, the character could appear to be a straight Christian male. And that would make sense. And then the character moves to a more cosmopolitan, or moves into a more cosmopolitan city, more options, and decides to try something new. Because let's face it, there are men out there who come into it much later in life.
Yeah,
it's
it happens.
a thing that happens. I may not agree with it, but just because here's the part where I get kind of weird with people, or weird about what people are thinking, is I guess the better way to put it.
Yeah.
There are people out there who speak about it as if putting the option to play the character in a same-sex relationship makes the character bisexual completely. It means the character is bisexual in the game all the way across the board. It doesn't matter how you play it. Whereas I'm one of the people who believe that unless you choose to go down a specific storyline route, that storyline route doesn't apply to my character. Thus, if I play the character as a straight male all the way through the game, my character is a straight male.
Yeah,
and that seems to kind of feel like to me where people are disconnecting to some degree. There are people out there who just seem to think that because the potential of the storyline exists, that means the character is retconned into being bisexual.
Yeah. In an ideal RPG, you're kind of making your own canon for the character, right? Based on your choices as the player, and you choose
that used to be the great thing about Dragon Age. Yes.
Yeah. And you choose how that player responds into whatever situations, the kind of person they are, and the kind of people they're into, essentially, right? And I feel like that sort of thing is reasonable. That's kind of where we should be in terms of that sort of thing, where it's like you're not being forced in one direction or the other. You can kind of just do what you want to do, but you're also still contending with the historical context of the game that you're playing, especially when you're playing something like realistic, like Kingdom Come Deliverance, where you're actually in a medieval setting, right? As long as it's, as long as it's not taking you out of the immersion of the game by, twisting the way a certain scenario would be perceived by, the characters in that game, right? That's where I'm at. But what about you, Sleazy? You have any thoughts on this? You've been very quiet. I know you had something to say earlier.
I've been trying to fact check stuff. I haven't had time to do this.
Oh, you're good.
I've read this whole thing, and I've seen a bunch of tweets, and they're old tweets where Daniel here has decided to. This set of tweets contradicts other tweets that he's said about the first game. And
such as?
Purely by fact of him stating this, he has pulled a 180 on his positions, which has a lot of people skeptical that it isn't going to be injected DEI into places it shouldn't be.
Because I mean, there was the whole thing with the possible gay relationships. There was also some deal with like a black character being around somewhere in there, right? I think you might address that.
There's actually a screenshot of a black character making a statement about how where he's from is safe and women are treated better.
Yes.
The thing is for me, that is so far out of context. We don't know what's happening on either side of that scene. For all we know, he's saying that just because that's the way he feels about where he lives. Because let's face it, everybody to some degree will say that about where they live, and it could not
unless you're American in 2025, in which case you're just shitting on where you live constantly, or at least like half of us are.
I'm happy.
Yeah, me too.
Great here.
I live in California, and even most of the internet believes I shouldn't be happy living in California, I'm still pretty okay here for the time being. I still kind of want to move away, but that's a whole lot. That's neither here nor there. But he did. I guess he just addressed this a little bit on point 6. So the game takes place in one of the richest cities in Europe, which was besieged by a massively foreign army. That's the reason why the life in such a city is more diverse than the life in villages, which were featured in the first game. And to a point, I'd say that makes sense somewhat.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Does it not? I mean, to be fair, I'm not the biggest historian, so go ahead, lay it out for me.
For air quotes, a diverse siege in medieval Europe would have to literally mean the Ottoman invasion of Europe. Or I mean, we're talking like it doesn't make sense.
So in Kingdom Come Deliverance, I'm curious, just real quick, just so I can kind of set something in stone here. Is this like following like real historical events, and you're kind of just playing through them as the player, or is it sort of like an Assassin's Creed sort of thing where you're kind of like somewhat happy?
I was just about to say
you're twisting history a little bit.
Assassin's Creed origin light, like the controversy origin light.
Like
everything, Shadows is going through right now, this entire thing seems like that, just a lighter version of it.
Well, from what I read of the first one, it's supposed to be taking place. Oh, now I gotta go pull that up because it actually says in the blurb.
There's a little more on this in point 7. Musa came to Bohemia with an invading army as a member of the royal court of King Sigismund, whom he met thanks to his engagement at the court of Sultan Bayezid. He's an educated noble and Renaissance man from the kingdom Mali. Okay, I'm assuming that's the black character that we saw in this screenshot that's going around?
Trying not to history autism this.
I mean, by all means, this is what we're here to chat, to talk about this whole thing, so...
Okay, so...
it's the time and place, man. Go for it.
Historically looking at it, none of this makes sense. Like, this is quite literally, I see the same thing as... Well, of course we gotta put a black samurai in, because one technically existed that we think that we made up. Like, it doesn't... It don't track. The math ain't mathing. The numbers aren't numbering.
I suppose part of it is we, since none of us have played the game, we're not entirely sure if they are following for real historical stuff, or if they're just placing it in that same historical time and creating their own timeline.
Yeah, but I mean, even okay, hold on. Let me make sure my map is right. Because Sigismund would have been Constantinople area, and we're talking about Bohemia. which would have been east of
the Czech
France.
Republic area.
Yeah, I would say east of France. Like, God, the maps have changed so much; it's hard to place anything anywhere.
Czech Republic and Slovakia mostly.
Yeah, and Sigismund should have been in the Constantinople area, which is, you gotta cross over Greece to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So now we've taken what was once a fortress of Christianity in the East, and somehow now is Middle Eastified all the way to it ain't mathing.
Well, that's because you're trying to
1403 is
use
the year
real
for the
math
game.
and not video.
Says villain in
You
chat.
start combining that with a tweet I saw from Daniel Vavra here, that where he's calling somebody out for saying, they're being racist for not putting black people in the first one. He says there were no black people in medieval Bohemia, period. And it's like, to take these two stances, something's given, and I don't think it's in the way of being just a good video game designer or a based video game designer. It sounds like somebody was like, hey, if you don't put all this diversity in here, we're gonna make sure your game fails, and in terms of doing so, have made the game fail.
I'm gonna be honest. So while I would say there were probably no black people in small town Bohemia, I would make sense that a large trade route would have one or two. Not like 20, but like one or two.
I think he was being more facetious here in saying that we're not going to put that kind of diversity in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt here, is that was what he was trying to say. But to go from that to, well, now we're going to justify having all this diversity.
Well, how much diversity is really there that we're aware of? I mean, we know the picture of one black guy and a potential gay relationship. Is that really a lot of diversity?
Sure, we don't know now, and I've even said that in my video. It's like, I hope this is all bullshit. I hope it's a good game, but it's gaming in 2025. 2024 wasn't exactly a great year.
Yeah, that's true. I guess for a lot of it, in my opinion, I understand why people overreact. I just think we need to come to a point where we stop overreacting immediately and give things a little bit of time so we can figure out what it actually is before we go flying off the handle.
Yeah, we talked about this a lot, me and Rosa and Asta, when we were doing like a lot of episodes last year. There's a common theme that kept coming up, and it was making sure not to jump at shadows. like going into like now that we're going into a space where we're kind of leaning a little less liberal these days, a little more conservatives, like a grand cultural zeitgeist, right? But we need to make sure that we're not like going into witch hunting of like any concept that could even be vaguely related to like the like rampant liberalism that we've been dealing with in gaming that led to shit like the Saints Row reboot or Veilguard or Concord, any of that shit, right? Like if we see one black person hanging around, right, or one like female lead or whatever, we can't immediately be like grabbing pitchforks and torches and saying woke, right? We gotta slow it down a little bit, take some time to analyze the situation. And we see what's what, right? Because what woke really is like these thoughts and these agendas that they're trying to push in these games. It isn't just the fact that there's somebody black or a woman or whatever the fuck, right? Like those things aren't what we're after in terms of like trying to delete them from games to get to a point where people are just focusing on being creative and making good quality products that are actually fun to play. Again, because I believe that's our main target here, right? Is just make sure people are free to make good games.
But yeah,
I don't think we'd even be having this conversation if this guy had come out and said that's not true, and left it at that, instead of going on a 10 tweet rant about hitting buzzwords like diversity and representation and everything else.
A shorter response would have definitely been better.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that it wasn't handled the best. That's true.
But I think they have added to this controversy and caused this discussion, not purposely, specifically by the words that they've said.
I do wonder how much of it is the fact that I don't think English is his primary language.
Could be that.
Yeah,
too.
no, and that's why I almost said purposely, and I was like, no, not purposely.
Yeah. So yeah, at this point, I'd say we wait and see, because this game is what, next month, right? Or like mid-February?
Actually, in a couple of weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks? Okay.
It's coming up soon.
It's coming up soon. So I imagine plenty of people are going to be hopping in. There's obviously going to be a lot of people who are still excited for the game. Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 players, very excited most likely, and a bunch of content creators are probably going to jump on it too. Asmund Gold might jump in there. Who knows?
And then
but it won't take long for us to see what's going on.
Well, in the end, you always have the one group who's going to be upset that there's any kind of gayness or whatever in it. Then you have the other group who just doesn't care, and it'll end up somewhere in the middle. As long as the game is actually a good game, it'll end up somewhere in the middle. If it sucks, it'll crash and burn. If it's great, it'll knock it out of the park.
And there we go. So yeah. It's a bit of an unfortunate PR thing, though, this whole kerfuffle, and probably could have been handled better in the long run. But I'm not willing to put the guy to the torch just based off of this whole thing. At least not yet. We got to see.
I mean,
because again, this is like one of the guys who was
anybody to the torch.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Yeah, but this was one of the guys who was kind of championing for the idea of just creativity,
wanting to make the game they want to make. Yeah,
before agenda. So we'll see. We'll have to see. Who knows? He may be dealing with a lot of pressure with his superiors and all that as well. So he's in a weird place right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if he panicked because of the way social media and the way people respond to games coming out just before they come out has impacted other games. But in the end, I think what developers in general don't understand is that the buzz around the game before it comes out isn't necessarily going to be what makes it succeed, because as long as it has some noise where people can see it, preferably in a positive way, if it's a good game, it's going to succeed.
Yeah. And let's see. Yeah, once again, the political horseshoe. As long as you are somewhere in the middle, moderate, then you should be fine. Yeah, and I think it's trying to keep that Overton window in a reasonable position, right? We don't going to get to the point where our side's like literally advocating for just hunting down gays and women and shit. Like we don't want to go too far in the other direction where we start becoming what was the term that was going around, the fucking woke right or whatever. Like we don't start being extremists in our own right here. We want to try and keep a measured, level-headed outlook on all of this, right? Because in my opinion, I believe the the ideal is that we get to a place in which everybody is just freely allowed to make whatever they want to make, whether it's like extremely crap like fucking Dustborn or whatever, or extremely like awesome based games like Wukong or fucking I don't know, Marvel Rivals, etc. Right? Like everybody should just be free to make what they want to make, and the free marketplace of ideas should get to sort it out from there. But you know, as long as they got the freedom to do what they want to do, ideal. That's all we want.
That doesn't mean we have to buy it. That's the important part.
There we go. Exactly. So, you know.
I would just like to throw this out there.
Go ahead, please do.
Addition. The publisher's Deep Silver, and if you're not familiar, Saints Row.
Oh God, yeah. So who knows how much hand they have in this? The reboot, I'm guessing.
I think it was the fourth one.
Oh, was the fourth one? Oh, okay. So not reboot. Oh, okay. But who did reboot then? Was that not also them?
I'd have to go.
Was that the same studio?
Oh wait, was the fourth one the reboot?
No, there was Saints Row the Fourth was like the one in space or in VR or some shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Alt left and alt right are the thick ends near the opening of the horseshoe. Yeah. One games to be just gay enough to allow lesbian love triangles and harems. Like an NDA. I mean, I don't disagree.
If that's what you're into, as long as I don't have to play it, go right ahead.
There you go. Yeah. Listen, certain games got to appeal to certain audiences, right? That's how you make your money. You find your niche audience and you appeal the fuck out of them. That's what you do. That's how you make your name. Let's see. Was there anything else? I feel like there was one other thing to comment on.
Sleazy was looking something up. Oh, right.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out which Saints Row they did. It's all a jumbled mess because Saints Row's gone through so many companies, it's ridiculous.
Explains why it changed so much.
Yeah, because it started out with THQ?
Really?
I'm almost positive. THQ Saints Row. Yeah. It started with THQ. THQ went under, but they made a ton of good games, but they had terrible money management.
Aren't they THQ Nordic now?
I think so.
It's like your third removed cousin taking your name.
Oh yeah, this one was pretty funny. I was gonna bring up the Netflix thing, but I mean, yeah, we all saw that coming most likely. The price raise and all that, and then yeah, it is what it is.
I don't even use Netflix.
Yeah, fair enough. But this one was pretty crazy. So the FTC came out against Genshin Impact and other gacha games. Says Genshin Impact deceived children, teens, and other players into spending hundreds of dollars on prizes they stood little chance of winning. And yeah, well, I'm an adult, so obviously I have the ability to control myself to some extent.
Your other players.
Yeah, but as far as children go, you know, there's obviously a danger there, right? And Hoyo games and gacha games in general do have a predatory element to them, just as like as a built-in thing, right? That's kind of what gacha is. It is gambling, right? It's gambling for fucking virtual products that you know.
Isn't it sort of right there in the name, gacha?
Yeah, pretty much. Gachapon machines, yeah. Genshin Impact publisher Cognisphere, another name for Hoyoverse. I've never heard of that. Weird. Has agreed to pay a $20 million fine and will block children under the age of 16 from making in-game purchases without parental consent in settlement with the U.S. Federal Trade Commission over allegations that it violated the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA, and deceived children and other users about the real costs of in-game transactions and odds of obtaining rare prizes. Although Cognisphere has accepted the fine, it says that many of the FTC's allegations are inaccurate.
Realistically, parents need to be watching their kids better.
True.
So,
but
all it's going to do is teach a bunch of kids what year to pick to select to be born. And $20 million fee on this, if this is right, they generated $700 million in revenue in 2020.
Yes, it's wild.
Nice.
So here's
$3 billion in 2023.
Yeah. So here's the thing. This actually ended up causing a bit of a small firestorm in like the gacha fucking content creator community, because one of the bigger ones actually like came out and made a tweet, said something kind of similar to what you said, where he was more putting the blame on the parents for not watching the kids and being more careful in that regard, right? But then I believe Tectone and even Asmongold got involved, and they had like a little like stream about it. We were talking about, it's like, yeah, I mean, there's an element of the parents, right? But there's also the fact that like these games are kind of built to be insidious. It's kind of like the same thing that happened with like Fortnite a while back, where Fortnite was dealing with its fucking dark patterns or whatever the fuck that was. I'm sure you remember how that whole thing. And there should be like a probably a little more concerted effort to give parents a way of being more cognizant of what the kid's doing with like the card. Like somebody put in the idea of like, say, if a parent's card or whatever is on an account and a kid decides to try and spend money on Prima Gems or whatever the fuck, right? The parent will immediately get like a text or an email where they have to confirm or they're like allowed to know what's going on, right? And it's like, I feel like that's probably a good thing. Right, like because
parents will ignore it.
True. Like there's only so much you can do when the parents are really just completely awful, right? But I feel like it couldn't hurt to have a few more fail safes in place to make sure the kids aren't just going nuts on microtransactions in a gacha game. I don't see a downside to that. I believe that is a good thing. Keep in mind.
I'm just tired of being nanny for parents who iPad nanny these kids. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand having restrictions on like nude stuff not getting to kids. Like, okay, I can understand that because the internet is a very nasty place.
Kids will find it anyway, but
it's I'm just tired of warning labels on everything, like don't drink bleach. You know, parent your kid or watch your kids' parents because they're spending your money. It's like at some point, this has to go back on the parents, and parents need to be aware of what their kids are playing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's obvious that this game focuses on getting people addicted to gambling for avatars, essentially.
Yeah. No, for sure. But I also, because they also brought up the point of, look, from our perspective, right? We know about all this shit because we're massive fucking nerds who live on the internet, more or less, right? But think about the normie parents, the people who don't know shit about video games, who just, they go to their job at the power plant or whatever, and, they let their kid play on an iPad, and they're assuming everything's going to be fine, right? Because they don't know anything about any of this, right? And how could they? Because it's like, this is past their time of being involved in all this crap. The parents in like their 30s, their 40s, well, maybe not their 30s, I mean, like late 30s, early like into their 40s, maybe 50s, whatever, right?
I'm 40 years old. I'm over 40. If you don't know this stuff,
right, but you're a massive fucking nerd, Rada. That's my point here, is that there are a lot of people out there who are still just normies who are going about like living actual lives where they go outside and they touch grass and they talk to their neighbors and all that.
My best friend is a normie, a 10-year-old, and she's over 40, and she understand. I mean, she doesn't play video games. She doesn't do any of that stuff. Most of the stuff she actually comes to me to talk about. The fact of the matter is in order to have your card connected to most of these things, an adult had to go through those steps first, set it up. If you forgot that it was there and you let your kids spend massive amounts of money because you were that irresponsible, that's your fault.
Yeah, true. No, and like I said, I'm not saying that's wrong, but I'm saying, it could help, and it's not really hurting anything to also have these companies, take a little bit of account on their end and make sure that they're not.
It's not hurting anything, because the reason I disagree that it's not hurting anything is because it's stopping people from learning the lesson that, hey, maybe I should pay attention.
True. I think the like the full solution to this is probably a little column A, little column B, right? Incentivize, definitely going at it, like having, how to put this, having something that comes up on the screen when you, as a parent, are like putting your credit card info in on. So it's like, hey, if you got kids, make sure that you're keeping this shit in mind and that you're, handling your parental settings accordingly, right? Something like that. Just, just a little something for them to read. And if they don't read it, and that's on them at that point. But at the very least, the people who are putting these games up on these stores and have all these microtransactions everywhere, they can say that they did their due diligence to try and make sure that the parents are keeping this in mind and, giving them some way to make sure it doesn't, like the kid doesn't go nuts with the credit card, right? So I believe to some extent they could stand to make this all a little more apparent and a little less, a little less insidious. Because again, to a point, as somebody who plays gacha games, and I mean a lot of gacha games at once, there is an insidious aspect to some of this where they do not want you to realize how much you're spending, even as an adult, right? Like this is they obfuscate this even for those with an adult mind who are able to comprehend this to some extent. They want to trick you as well. They want to trick anyone they can into spending as much money as possible. Right, so obviously, if the kids are dealing with this, they got no way. They got no, especially the kids are getting spawn camped by like Cocomelon and TikTok. They're the dumbest motherfuckers on earth. Like they're not going to be able to understand what they're doing, and trying to put some sort of guardrails there, probably not the worst idea in the world. At the end of the day, it's going to come back to the parents. At the very end of the day, the parents are going to have to be responsible about this sort of thing. But putting a few more guardrails in, probably not the worst idea. That's where I'm at.
But the guardrail is having your parents' credit card.
Yeah, you mean?
I mean,
like that is the guardrail, right? Where are the parents? Stop. Like, it's perfect story time.
Go for it.
Horror Marauder, did I not reach out to you like a week ago asking if there's any way to change your locals? Because I keep seeing Twitch on my billing.
you did, in fact. They reached out to me, and I
confuses
forgot to actually go look. So while we're talking, I'm going to go look at that.
And it confuses me because the hell is this Twitch charge? Where I spend 30 minutes digging through Twitch trying to figure out why the hell I'm being charged, only to realize it's for something completely different.
An entirely different service, which makes no sense.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, are parents literally just handing their kids their credit card and saying run up a bill and never looking and just paying it off? That is entirely on the parents. And the kid can't spend that money without the parents giving them a credit card. We're not talking about a gambling addict here who has a legitimate, psychological issue with spending money thinking they're going to win, which, I think that's something on itself, but that's completely different. And if you're not asking why your kid is spending all this money on games on their tablets, I think that's entirely on the parents.
I do wonder, actually, how they plan to implement this. Children under 16 will not be allowed to purchase loot boxes without parental consent.
It'll be a checkbox, verify your age.
And that kind of thing is really basically impossible to track. You can't. How do you know the age of the person holding the phone at the moment the purchase happens?
Because I think maybe how like some services have separate accounts that you can access, right? Like say the PlayStation, right? PS4, PS5, whatever. You have different profiles on the one console for the different people using it, right? And so have one profile that's the adult's profile, and then one that's like the kid's profile. Maybe some setting where the kid's profile is a kid's profile in which they can't actually make purchases on it without some sort of okay from the parent, right? Something like that. Maybe go that way about it. How that would work on, like, say, a different platform like a PC or a tablet, I don't exactly know, but there could be some way to figure that out.
Yeah, at that point, it's easier just to say, verify you're over this age and get a checkbox, because otherwise you're looking at doing months of work for paying what equates to be a $10 fine from the FTC. They're going to just add a checkbox.
Yeah. I mean, at least that. Just something to kind of offset the accountability, I suppose, is probably where they're looking at it from. It's like however little we can do to offset the accountability. But to a point, I don't know. It just me as an adult and as somebody who is cognizant of what exactly these gacha games are doing, obviously I'm not gonna be an easy target for these guys. But there are a lot of kids who are. So I don't know. It's. I'm with you guys where it's all, like a lot of it's on the parents, but still it's like I don't know. There's got to be something that they can also do on their end to kind of try and curb this a little bit.
There is something to be said about a company taking. Okay, so here's where my issue lies specifically. I have no issue if a company takes it on themselves and decides to, okay, well, these people are idiots. Maybe I need to give them some kind of prompt to hopefully remind them, your kids have this, you might want to not let them spend all your money. It's a different situation entirely when you involve the government and the government forces somebody to do it. That honestly is where my overall issue comes in. Well, yeah, it's nice if a government, if a company chooses to do that kind of thing for its customers. It's a good piece of goodwill. It's understandable. It's honestly probably what I would consider a best practice. But I don't believe that the government should be involved forcing people to do said things.
Okay. I don't know, because like again, this is all very like gambly, right? these games, gamba, gotcha, etc. So to an extent, I suppose some amount of regulation kind of becomes required in the same way that gambling kind of needs to be regulated to some extent to keep it from like getting out of hand, right?
I'm not really a person who believes in regulation, so there's that too.
I mean, I guess it's I don't know, to some extent, because it's like people are idiots, and if you leave them to their own idiot devices, they're going to make things so much worse for everyone. So I don't know. It kind of depends.
Let them weed themselves out.
Yeah, kind of. That's where I am on the scale. It's like if you're going to be that stupid, you deserve it. And a lot of times, in my opinion, part of the reason people get that dumb is because they're not taught earlier in life to make the proper decisions, and we're pushing things further and further in that direction as we take more and more choices from people.
I mean,
it's hard to say.
We literally have warnings on ovens not to put people. I just realized that was a Jew saying that. Microwaves.
God damn it.
You're safe saying it. If we said it, there might be a problem with you here. But I mean, it's more than just that. Look at the number of warning things that we have on everything. But that's not what I'm talking about. The fact is decision making and risk assessment is a learned skill. The more you take away the ability for people to practice that, not only as an adult, but as a young child to grow and improve that skill, the less they're going to be able to exercise it well as they get older. We are currently in a time where kids are almost isolated from being able to make their own choices, to make their own mistakes and learn from the lessons so that they can have better decision-making skills later in life. And we're making it worse as we tighten those things up as it moves up the ladder.
Yeah.
So people are becoming.
Though, to be fair, when hundreds or even thousands of dollars are at risk on certain mistakes, it becomes a bit of a different ballpark than say falling and scraping your knee. I don't know.
But falling and scraping your knee can actually lead to learning decision-making choices that keep you from losing those thousands of dollars.
Right,
And
sure, but right now we're talking about the gotcha shit specifically.
Well, no, but and to me, it's all connected. That's my point, is that if you're going to take away yet another point where people can learn to make the positive decisions for themselves after suffering consequences, yes, some of them may cost people thousands of dollars. Sometimes that's the expensive lesson that they have to learn. You're not helping people actually get better. You're just keeping them from being able to stop themselves from making that mistake in the future.
Yeah, and it starts young, like getting punched in the face for running your mouth. Which you can't do anymore. And now we have yeah, never mind.
No, I got
I mean, you
Stopping
can,
there.
but you might get in trouble.
Yeah, I was going to say stopping there.
Many of the FTC's allegations are inaccurate. We agree to the settlement because we value the trust of our community, share commitment to transparency for our players. In this agreement, we will introduce new age gate and parental consent protections for children and young teens, and increase our in-game disclosures around virtual currency and rewards for players in the US in the coming months. And they went down the list of changes here. Children under 16 will not be allowed to purchase loot boxes without parental consent. Yeah, okay, sounds reasonable. All loot boxes available for purchase with virtual currency will also be made available for direct purchase using real money. So you know exactly how much you're actually spending instead of getting obscured through, whatever digital currency you bought with real money. Yeah, that sort of. Yeah, so this just seems like a quality of life thing.
Practice.
Yeah, that way I don't like this is actually just like a time saving thing. To be fair, like you don't have to go buy the stupid fucking in-game currency. You can just directly buy the thing you want with your fucking money. Like this is nice. This just feels better. I think in general.
This makes you more able to spend your money. That's what I heard.
Well, yeah. I mean, hey, listen. I do some gotcha spending from time to time. I keep it all in moderation. because
Nothing
I'm an
wrong with
adult. I'm adult with self-control. But this is
Totally.
this is a good thing. Like people, and especially because there are also people out there with like gambling addictions, like actual,
Yeah.
neurological issues that make it hard for them to like deal with this sort of thing. But they still want to play the game because it's pretty and they're anime girls and all that shit, right? So this is also nice on that level as well. Loot box odds and exchange rates for multi-tiered virtual currency will be accurately disclosed and not misrepresented. Also nice. Yeah, it seems reasonable. Any personal information collected from players under the age of 13 will be deleted unless permission to keep the data is obtained from parents. Why the hell would parents ever give you permission to keep that data? This seems
Same
this
reason
seems like
they would give
this
you
seems
permission
good.
to spend thousands of dollars on your credit
Yeah,
card.
that's right.
I mean,
But this is a good thing though. The fact they can't keep personal information of fucking children, like that's that's good. That's a good thing. This is a solid one. All COPPA regulations, including its notice and consent requirements, will be complied with. Yeah, okay. I mean, none of this really sounds all that.
The fact that a lot of adults will allow them to keep their kids' information anyway.
Yeah, they'll just press accept all. That's
Yep.
all.
Oh, and people don't read the fucking EULAs. Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
But here's the
Have
thing.
you ever read one of those?
As far as I no.
I tried.
No,
upon a time,
and
I used to.
I almost got trapped in a fucking human centipede because I didn't read it. But it is. But yeah, I mean, none of this really sounds unreasonable from what I'm reading here. Like this seems okay.
I mean, the actions they're taking aren't unreasonable. It just, to me, is stuff that I don't know how to explain it any better right now.
Yeah, I get you though. That's what it is. But yeah, I just thought that was pretty interesting. It seems like they're going to be keeping a closer eye on all the gacha stuff, which, to be fair, they have been like just existing with complete impunity for quite a while now. And again, it is gambling, and it can be kind of dark from time to time with how insidious it can get. Man, I was looking at the fucking, so they're about to put in costumes for the Zenless Zone Zero update, which is one of the another Hoyo game, and yeah, the new update comes with 3 costumes, and they always do this shit where it's like the 4-star character gets a free one. You can just add that one free, and that character you get for free too. The 5-star ones that you pull for, well, you can have a costume for them for $30. Go fuck yourself. To give us $30,
Okay.
you could have your little dress for your little girl. It's like, no, what? That's horse shit. Fuck you.
The sad thing is there are enough people paying for it that they keep doing it. That's the sad thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
But yeah, these companies will absolutely pull some scum shit if you let them. So to an extent, at some point somebody's got to hit them with the rolled up newspaper, at least a little bit. It ain't got to be a
Or
massive smack,
people
but
could just stop involving
no,
themselves with scummy companies. I mean,
they're not going
that's
to,
always an
Amarada.
option.
These
Well, that's their problem, isn't it?
these are weebs and simps we're talking about, Amarada. They're not going to stop giving them their money.
In that case, they deserve
Even if
it
it puts them in the fucking cardboard box under the bridge, right? It's
If you choose to live in a cardboard box, that's your own decision. That's all I'm saying here, is that you have to make your own decisions in life.
the cardboard box was my choice. That's going in for the title ideas.
look, if you're a broke boy, just say so.
There's no shame in living in a cardboard box and owning every sexy outfit in Zenless Zone Zero.
In Nikkei.
Yeah. That there's nothing wrong with that, kind of.
Hey, Rupee's winter outfit was totally worth it, and that's the only money I've spent on a mobile game.
No idea what you're talking about.
I'm not sure either. Wait. Who'd you say?
Rupee?
Oh, he's talking about Nikkei.
Yeah.
Listen.
I still have no idea what you're talking about.
I
but
saw
Okay,
that outfit, and I was like, you know what? I like staring at that. It's worth the $15.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be real honest with you right now, Sleazy. They fucking got me with that Naga outfit they just put out, man. God damn it. God damn it.
Looked in a while.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah,
I
it's
pull these games up randomly when I'm bored, so I'll play it for like a week and put it down for a month, and then pick it up like a month later for a week.
that's
this
good.
is pure boredom for me, and I was like, I kind of like looking at that one.
Men are weird.
Yeah, we are. All right,
Don't
but I
miss
suppose
my love
that's.
of triple. Glad that one shut down early.
Yeah, Yeah, it can be our little outro screen while we go over the questions. There you go. Mavuika holding out her hand for your credit card. No squeezies for you, Sleazy. Not until you hand over your credit card and the 3 digits on the back.
Trump is president. It's 2025. That's not how this works anymore.
That's never not how this works, Sleazy. You're gonna empty out that account.
Traveled. We gotta get you more traveled.
Fuck. Both of you be gooning from the box. the gooner box.
I mean, that just sounds like a fun time.
It's like that old meme where it's like only gay idiots sit in this box, except it's only gooner morons sit in this box. you're just dressed in rags in there, yeah. I'm the man in the cardboard box. Is that an actual song? I never heard that.
That is an actual song.
Really? Wow.
Living in a
box. News to me.
Living in a cardboard box. Yeah, that's a song.
Who's the song made about a fox? Like, how do you not think there's a song about that?
Wait, you say fox or box?
Metal now.
No, I said box. B-O-X.
Okay, I thought he said fox.
He said fox. F-O-X.
Yes.
Oh, because I remember the song, like, what does the fox say? That was a whole fucking meme for like a couple of years. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, fair enough. But I suppose that's all I got on the docket. Was there anything else you guys wanted to touch on, or are we good?
Oh no, I think we covered everything for the week.
Yeah.
Unless Sleazy had something.
You good?
I'm just here for the ride.
Oh, there you
Fair
go.
enough. Well, the ride has led us to the questions. It is time to wind down with answering some of the burning inquiries of the audience. So, the first one up is Electric Angel.
Get a cream for the burning.
Any dentist stories?
Nope.
Not really. I mean, because wait, it's not a dentist. It's an orthodontist that does like braces and shit, right?
Yeah, but I think that's kind of in the same ballpark.
Yeah, close enough, right? Well, it's not really about like my braces, but like what happened after my braces, where all 4 of my fucking wisdom teeth grew in, and I had to get all 4 of them removed. That shit sucked. That was awful.
Had 3.
And I was still conscious for most of those too. I mean, I guess they stopped like putting you like full on under. They just kind of shoot like some numbing shit into your gums via needle. By the way, you just stick a needle in your fucking gums, and yeah, it was very, very unpleasant. I got that 4 fucking times. All 4 wisdom teeth grow in.
I only had 3 wisdom teeth that grew in, and they just gave me the gas, and then they just popped them out.
Oh,
pop,
damn.
Pop.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, in terms of an actual like story about being at the dentist, no, not really. That's just kind of it. Look up the cum song. I don't want to look up the cum song at the end.
How about you, Sleazy? Any dental stories?
No, I avoid the dentist.
Oh,
okay,
I had
makes sense.
braces, and dentists and orthodontics are nothing but bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's nice to have well taken care of teeth, for chewing food and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay,
Fighting
so
your
last
enemies,
time I went
essentially.
To a dentist, orthodontist when I was 18. I went back to the dentist a year and a half ago, and they're like, "You have a cavity." And I was like, "Oh, so like 16 years of just brushing my teeth. That's the worst. Okay."
Brushing teeth actually works.
Elon paying someone to play his Age of Exile account was funny. Oh yeah, the whole crash out against Asmongold where he's like talking a bunch of shit. There's not much to say about that. It was pretty funny though. Just watching him. And like the way Asmongold just kind of like water off a duck's back reacted to it. It's like, well, Elon's talking shit, but it is what it is. he just kind of
Yeah. Elon got ratioed twice in 2025 so far.
Wow, what was the other thing?
The visa thing.
Visa thing?
Yeah, the H1B1 stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened
or H1B stuff.
Oh, he was like, we should totally import foreign people to do our jobs.
And he was talking like engineers and stuff, but H1Bs aren't actually made for that.
No. What are they made for?
That's how they get a lot of like low-end secretaries, janitors, stuff like that, believe it or not.
Oh.
Amusement park workers.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so Elon's been on kind of like a weird kick lately, but I don't know, maybe he'll mellow out a bit once he finally gets the Doge going.
Well, he'd be busy anyway. I wouldn't say he mellows out.
Yeah. Well, whatever keeps him from making an ass of himself on social media.
As
Well,
long
it's
as he
his
makes
platform.
it to Mars
True.
and
True.
makes it a Forge world, that's all I want.
We shall see. Jazz asked who is your favorite Hoyoverse waifu? Well, since Ast is not here, I guess this follows to me, and I'm gonna say unequivocally fucking Grace from Zenless right now. Because she's a mechanic tomboy who is very cute. She's got massive tits, and I'm a fan of that. So, yeah. Yeah, good stuff. Hope that answers your question. This one's from Elite Eater. Is Tickety Talkety officially dead yet, or just in legal fight for its life still? Seems to be the latter for the moment. We're in that probational period, and we'll see what happens at the end of the 90 days. But, yeah, who knows? It seems to be really up in the air right about now. Hard to
It's
say.
on the checkout counter. It's either gonna get put back or it's gonna get bought. That's it.
Yeah. Someone's looking in their Amazon cart thinking, do I hit buy?
Yeah.
Elon Strover giving the Roman salute during the inauguration. Oh, yeah, the whole people thought he was doing a Nazi salute thing. I did see that.
Oh my god, those
It was-
people are so stupid.
Yeah, yes, they are. Let's see. Next up is NDA with his usual Nigerian accent thing. Sleazy, why are you autistic? You know, NDA, I don't think he had a say in the matter.
I was gonna say because I'm a white Mossad agent born in the time of the internet. I don't know.
Plus, he was vaccinated.
True.
No.
Never?
I am pure blood.
He's a pureblood. I
No,
didn't know about that going around about the people who weren't vaccinated called themselves fucking purebloods. It's just
I'm
amazing.
sure I have some vaccinations, but I know I don't have a lot.
Yeah. So you probably had the ones when you were youngest, and yeah, that's basically all I had eat too. So there's a lot of,
That's why I'm autistic.
could be.
Possibly. And lastly, we got from Hysenti. Jazz, have you read the 200th chapter of the 100 Girlfriends yet? Yes, I have. I keep on top of that particular manga very, very dedicatedly. Because that
Keeps
shit's...
on top of 200 girlfriends. That sounds right.
No, it's 100 Girlfriends, 200th chapter.
Well,
But,
still.
God, I'd be glad to just have one girlfriend, honestly. Rada. That'd be nice. But,
I'm engaged, so I...
Well, good fucking for you, Rod. Fucking bitch. Oh, God.
It's great being happy in a relationship.
Oh, you're such an asshole.
I am, yes.
You're such
I really
an
am.
Oh, man. Fair enough. Whatever. I'll be there too one day. It's gonna happen for me, chat. It's gonna happen.
You're young. It'll happen eventually.
We're all gonna make it, chat. We're all gonna make it. We're all gonna make it, chat.
You'll just marry your best friend so you get tax write-offs.
I mean,
Also okay.
as long as she's female, that works too.
I never specified.
Well, I am specifying now as a heterosexual. So
Just
there
because
you
you
go.
marry someone doesn't mean you have to sleep with them. Haven't you ever been married before?
No, actually. Have you?
Actually, yes, but
Oh yeah. I forget you're like 40. You've been through it. She's been
Oh.
around the block, chat.
let's see. Even someone old, despite the fact I am a woman over 40, I was able to find happiness. It does happen.
Hey, good. No,
Despite what sleazy
okay,
states.
yeah, genuinely, all fucking around aside, I'm happy
Hey.
for you, Rada. I am.
Just because I made the smart decision to get married overseas so that I can't get divorced and I get to keep my money.
It's not gonna happen.
Oh, did you actually get married?
I'm probably gonna ask this chick this year.
Oh, well,
Oh.
congratulations if you do. If
Yeah.
not, then
I mean,
forget
good
I said
luck
anything.
on
We'll
the.
address that when it happens.
Good luck on the
kind of,
proposal. You got this, bro. I believe.
There's
I
not
believe.
gonna be anything luck about it.
Mhm. All right. Well, and for one of those, if we both still single by the time we're 40 things, maybe. Eh? Anywho, yeah. So, but I keep up with 100 girlfriends. That manga is fucking hilarious. It's really funny, and the 200 chapters, like three different chapters of that special. But it was a good time. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, that's it. We're done. So, I suppose we can go over the possible titles here. Let me just wrap up the Q&A.
Sounds like an option.
So let me see. In the possible titles, we've got Let Me Send a Zuck. Okay, and we've got Killed the Studio. That's a barv. I can probably put that whole thing in the option, but I'll just put Killed Studio barv. Barv.
Yeah. They'll get it.
Immediately.
I have faith in our viewers. Not much.
I
but
put
some.
Shit Yourself and Die as one of the possible titles, but I don't remember why I did that. Also, I don't know if I could put the word shit in the title, so I might have just kept that one.
No explanation needed.
You know what? We'll skip that one. We'll just do 3. And the last one will be The Cardboard Box Was My Choice.
Yes.
Because that one's strong. Okay, so we'll go with those 3, and the poll is starting right now, chat. You guys go ahead, get your votes in for the title you want. We'll make sure that makes it onto this episode. Man, Cardboard Box is already crushing it. There's only, oh wow, 5 votes already, and they're all for the Cardboard Box.
I was just about to say, let's see if we can get to 5 votes, but you know what? Let's try for 6. Can we get 6 votes?
There's 17 of you apparently in chat, guys. What do we got? Any more votes?
I mean, we're doing pretty fantastic. We got 5 votes and 14 likes on the stream, believe it or not.
Damn,
18 people and 14 likes. You guys are doing fantastic tonight. Now, if we could just get a few more votes and make things feel a little more interactive, it'd be fantastic. No.
I saw
We
6
had
votes.
6. No,
Oh.
now it's back to 6.
Killed the Studio. It's a bar. But I'm saying we're really selling them on the card.
7. Nope.
Oh.
Down to 6.
8.
8.
Oh. Yeah,
Oh, this is getting exciting.
Yeah, we're really selling them. We're really selling them on the Cardboard Box here.
Yeah,
Shit,
they
maybe
all want to choose the cardboard box.
Maybe
I knew that was the type of viewers we had here.
maybe Nintendo should hire us. Selling cardboard like
Right?
this. Come on, right? 9 votes. Let's go. Let's go.
Can we get 10?
Good job, chat. 10 whole votes. 10 whole votes, chat.
Can we hold out for 10?
Holding out for a 10th vote, chat. 9 votes, 9 votes, I got 9 votes, 9 votes, 9 votes, cardboard box, 9 votes, 9 votes, oh, do I see 10 votes, 10 votes, we see 10 votes. I can't talk fast enough to actually do it. Those guys gotta start rap careers, like, straight up. You ever see the videos? Hey God, you guys ever see the videos of, like, the auctioneers being, like, put over, like, a trap beat?
No.
Oh, yeah. Well, we could close it out with that. That shit's amazing. If you guys haven't seen that, it's incredible.
We hit 10. Way to go!
Let's go.
I'm so proud of you guys.
There was a vote for Zuck.
Yeah. Someone voted for Zuck, but
Rap beats.
Cardboard Box is still a strong winner.
Check this shit out. It's amazing.
Holy shit.
quarter, 5 and a half, and a 5 and a 5, 5 and a 5 and a 5, now 6 and a quarter, quarter, and a big quarter, half and a big 6 now 75, a 75, and a 77, 7 quarter, quarter, and a big quarter, half and a big 7 half, 75, and a big 78, 8 and a quarter, quarter, 8 and a quarter, 8 and a quarter.
That man is dropping bars.
I wonder if anybody's ever done that with the Micro Machines man. Do you guys remember him?
Wait, for who?
The Micro Machine guy?
I know who?
Oh God! Now I just feel
remember
old.
having Micro Machines, but I don't remember it.
You don't remember the Micro Machine guy in the commercials?
No.
Oh my God, he used to speak so fast. There, like when I was a kid, there was, we'd all thought that he was like the guy who spoke the fastest in the world. Now I just feel old.
Like I'm telling you, this guy's gonna start an actual rap career. This shit's incredible. It's so good. Oh fuck, it's amazing. That's the same guy.
Do it again. Now to 8. All down. Now 5. Now half. I'm 75. 5 and a half. Here it is. 6. Now half. Here it is. 6 and a half. 7. I'm 77. Now half. Now 8.
Oh God, now I'm thinking
Would
Don
this be like
Barrows.
called barn rap?
Barn rap?
Barn. Like they live in
Fucking
barns.
love
Right.
this shit. It's so good. Holy shit, it's amazing. Okay, so yeah, cardboard box wins. Hang on, let me switch the chat back.
Looks like it wins. Yep.
All right, guys,
We
good
have
job.
10
Good
votes.
job. 10 votes tonight. That's like the most votes we ever had. Good job, everybody.
Audience participation tonight has been fantastic.
You guys are great. You're all breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
All right, Keanu.
All right, but it's been a fun podcast. Sleazy, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. You do stuff of the content creating nature. Why don't you tell the audience about some of that shit you do, where they can find it, when, all that good stuff.
Okay. So channel is Sleazy Society. I yell
Lovely.
about
Love
things
that
on
name.
the internet, right? I yell about things on the internet. I occasionally stream. I promise you nothing, but maybe
And
some
deliver
laughs.
less.
I deliver a lot. So I mean, I guess the
Alright.
goal for this year is to hit 1,000. I'm at 888. So yeah.
I just love that. I don't remember who I originally heard that from, but I love that fucking line of "I promise nothing and deliver less." It's just great.
Okay. So yes, I play video games on Friday because fuck, it's Friday. Let's relax. I'm working on a video game. I don't have any delivery date for it. We're getting close to putting everything together. It should go smoothly, so I'm expecting 6 months to a year it'll be out.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah,
Good shit.
I'm working on a movie and a movie script. I'm putting the script together, working on getting the equipment to do this. And yeah, I have no idea. I'm not even gonna give an ET on that. Maybe sometime in the future.
Fair enough.
Someday, maybe.
Someday.
Looking
maybe.
forward to it. Rada, what you got going on?
I am trying to once again make videos. I don't promise one for tomorrow, but I do promise to continue pushing out more videos once again until I have returned back to what was once a 6-day-a-week schedule. Kind of taking me a little bit of time. I don't know what it is about this time of year. I lose all motivation. I don't know why.
That's fair.
But,
But where can
I'm
they
working on
find these
getting it
videos
back.
that you make?
Huh?
So where can they
you
find
can
these
find it on my
videos?
channel, The Abysmal Critic.
Mm.
Definitely stop by there. You can also find my takes on random things on Twitter
Very
at
cool.
HAmurata, if you want to do that.
Sounds good to me. Might have to go do that, chat. As for myself, guys, more gotcha brain rot slop is coming up. We got the Zone Zero update. Should already be live, actually, but I'm probably not going to get to it until tomorrow. I mean, unless chat wants like a late night stream, I could maybe do that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I'm feeling after we finally wrap this
Wants
up.
to see you late night, guys.
I always chat. I would love to see you late in the night. Oh, chat. Just you and me. Let's go. Let's do it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, chat. Oh, the milk man's being shy in his room. Just go full. Just really full on fucking meat candy. I'm sorry, Chad. I'm sorry. I apologize for that.
That's a thing now.
But as well as tomorrow, we're doing our big Tri-podcast collab year in review with Razor and his podcast, and also Under the Tea with Mizu, Akko, and Lumi. Many of whom will be meeting Emirata here for the first time, so that'll be a lot of fun. But that's going to be tomorrow. Oh, it's going to be great. You'll love them. They're all fun people. But yeah, and that'll be tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow evening. And then, of course, I'm bringing back Share the Stage on Thursday. Yeah, your boy's going to be singing again. I have found my motivation, and I miss the stage, and I miss sharing it with y'all. So, and of course, remember, Share the Stage is one that the viewers can also participate in. So if you guys like karaoke, just come on, swing on by. Let's sing some songs. Have a good time with it.
Yeah, to do that.
Hell yeah, let's go! I would love to hear you sing Emirata. Let's do, yeah, it's a good time. Alright, but yes, that'll be the plan on Thursday. I'll probably stream something during the day as well. I don't know what yet, but maybe I'll finally play fucking Infinity Nikki, since Gigi's been bugging me to look into it. More gotcha! Yeah! Fine. Oh, Bear's been waiting to hear me sing again. I know you missed me, Bear. I missed you too, buddy.
First, you're sexually harassing him. Now he's excited to hear you sing. I think thou dost protest too much.
At any rate, that's what we got coming up. So be sure to keep an eye out, chat, for all that fun stuff. But that is going to be the end for this episode of the Offensive Charm podcast. Again, please don't forget to follow if you enjoyed. Tell your friends about it. We're trying to hit that 500, get that monetization going, and we need your help for that. Yeah, we're almost there. So please, chat, if you would, lend us your aid. We would very much appreciate it. And we appreciate your viewership.
If you guys don't subscribe and get him to 500, I will personally call my Mossad agents and deduct points off your credit score.
He'll do it too.
That's crazy.
I've seen him do it.
Watch that. We watch it. Joe, credit is really important these days. Don't fuck with it with us on this. But yeah, that'll be it, everybody. Y'all have a good night, a good day, a good afternoon, whatever. And we'll see you next week for more fun stories and more stupid opinions. Until then, later.